Good? Is it right? Yep.
Okay, we're going to call the meeting to order now, please. Lisa, you want to do the sunshine announcement?
As required by the Open Public Meetings Act, 1975, adequate notice of this meeting was provided on January 24th, 2018, by publication of notice of this first time and posting of the same notice in the municipal building on the same date. Mayor Barsney?
Here.
Mr. Dean?
Here.
Mr. Marqueta?
Here.
Mr. Jones and Mr. Spicer are excused. Mr. Finelli is not here yet. And Mr. Bailey.
Everyone, please stand for the flag salute.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First thing on the agenda is the Eagle Scout presentation. Is Dakota here? Dakota? I guess he's not here, so. We'll reach out to him, Lisa, maybe, and try to have him come next meeting. Maybe, okay. We want to move up the affordable housing ordinances.
The hearing.
You want to, well, your hearing, yeah.
The Eagle Scouts here.
Oh, hold on. Okay. Dakota, how you doing? Come on up.
Congratulations.
Dakota, we're giving him an award tonight. He earned his Eagle Scout for his project. He cleaned and painted some of the American Legion building and took care of a lot of things. So I find it extraordinary because not only did he achieve something, but he took care of veterans in the process. And we really appreciate it. And thanks for everything you did. Thanks for coming. Okay, I guess we're back to you, the attorney.
Mayor, my name is Michael Sullivan. I am John Drill's partner who serves as Affordable Housing Counsel for the Township. I understand you're moving up two matters of business tonight. First will be 14A, which is a public hearing on ordinance 03-2018 affordable housing, and that's now open. Is that correct? For public hearing?
We're going to open it now?
Open it at this time, yes?
Yes. I'll make a motion to open it?
Is that how you, whatever your procedure is?
I'll make the motion to open it.
Second.
We do roll call, Lisa?
Mayor Barsney?
Yes.
Mr. Dean?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, unfortunately, even though this was the scheduled day for the public hearing, Beth McManus, who is the township planner, is unable to attend the meeting due to a personal family matter. She is the principal witness. She is the individual who will be answering questions from members of the public, will provide testimony with regard to the ordinance. So we have suggested and have advised anybody who's asked us the matter will be carried to the July 19 meeting at 7 o'clock with no further notice. So my suggestion is that the governing body, in fact, make a motion to that effect.
Okay. All of these people are here for that. So basically what had happened is the planner, who has most of the answers for this, had an emergency in her family and she had to cancel. And Jonathan, our board attorney, is not available. He's not going to be able to answer many of your questions. He's not up on that. He's only here to make sure this ordinance goes through. So next meeting, we're scheduled a hearing for the affordable housing. That doesn't mean you won't get your open public comment though yet. So I know some of you are dying to do that. So with that, you need a motion to adopt
Well,
that.
are you going to carry the public hearing on this, or are you going to hear comment on it now?
Can we hear comment and then still carry it? And we got here,
Just
so.
the idea being that a lot of the questions would be answered by Ms. McManus, who's not here. So
No, we
that's up to you.
were thinking they could just answer it in normal public comment, regular public comment.
Well, I think if
Non-hearing.
you're going to have public comment on the ordinance, you'd have it now.
Okay. That's fine.
Okay, so we're opening up the public comment on this issue. Just so you know, this is not something we want to do or we chose to do. I'm speaking for myself. I think to speak for all of us up here. This is not a situation where you're coming and saying, you're doing this and we don't want it, and we want it. We don't want it. So we're all on the same side, I think, in that issue. Certainly you can express your concerns and whatever, but I just want to let you know, I'm not in favor of it. We've been fighting this for probably 8 or 10 years that I know of here. This has been an issue since I was probably 18 years old. In the 70s, I think, is when Mountain Laurel decision first happened. This has been a topic in this township at least for the last 10 years with the purchase of the land we're discussing and whatever. And, like I said, I really am not in favor of it. I know most municipalities aren't. There's been lawsuits over it. So this is not a situation where you're trying to convince us not to do something, but we're certainly looking to listen to anybody if you have any alternative suggestions. I will tell you this, though, almost anything you bring up has probably been brought up by either one of us, all of the previous committees, to lawyers, by the land use boards, to the planners, and we just get shut down on every answer. So don't feel like we're shutting you down or whatever with the answers that you don't like. I'll probably not even give any tonight because I'd rather have Beth McManus knows a lot of this, and I know a lot of people want to know statistical data. She does have that on, how it affects market rates, how it affects schools, how it affects a lot of different issues. So we'll have to do that when she's here. So this and that in mind, I just want to let you know that, like I said, you're not really arguing with us. I'd love to be able to wave a wand and make this go away tonight, but the only other thing, the clerk asked when you come up to the podium, will you please state your name and spell it, because she has a hard time hearing a lot of times when she transcribes it. So we need your name and your address when you come to the podium. So with that, I'll make a motion. We open the public comment on this?
I'll second.
You are good.
Okay, we open it? Okay,
Sure.
so podiums for whoever wants to come up and make any statements on the record, or?
Make sure 3 minutes, keep them in the 3 minute, or?
Yeah, we do have a 3-minute limit, so.
Thanks for the opportunity. My name is Richard Goldring, Goldring. I reside at 503 Madison Drive here in Stewart. I've been a member of this community now for 20 years. I have 3 children. One have gone through the entire school system, 2 little school systems, And obviously, as most of you probably are, very concerned, and I appreciate the time to discuss this, and obviously in your opening statement, we're all on one team here. My concern has to do with security. I am in the private security and private policing business of gated communities and low-income subsidized Section 8 housing. What I do for a living. In my business, I deal with many communities that have gone to Section 8 housing where the owners of these properties hire my company to provide security, both armed and unarmed security. And when I found out about the situation from a good friend of mine here not long ago, assisted me in coaching basketball here at the rec department, I was not aware of it, but obviously I became very concerned, and I'll try to keep my time short. I will tell you that my concern from a professional in the security business, I am concerned, personally. I am witness to many, many situations that occur in Section 8 housing rental, especially, where there may not be the actual folks residing in those rentals, but people that come from other areas to hang out with them. That causes problems not only in the exact housing areas, but in parks and retail areas surrounding those markets. And this is not in just one town, and this is not, just North New Jersey. All right? This is in many communities that I work in. And so my concern is, obviously you brought up a few points that can't be answered tonight with respect to taxes, law enforcement involvement, cost of schools for additional teachers and aides to handle additional students. But mainly my concern is security for the town. I think our police department does an outstanding job. I'm concerned about how much more they can handle based upon putting 140 some odd homes here if we face this type of challenge. I will tell you there are Section 8 homes that don't have issues. Not really many issues. But I'm involved in quite a few of them, and I have to tell you that on almost a daily basis, we have serious legal issues where police are involved, shootings, prostitution, and illegal drug distribution. So I'm here tonight just to voice an opinion as a 20-year member of this town, as a taxpayer, that I have concerns over security. The fact that although my property is not within 200 feet of this, but probably within 1,500 feet, perhaps, I haven't measured it. but I have my concerns. And all of us can research on the internet, as I'm sure you have, about problems with low-income Section 8 rentals. I'm telling you from someone with experience, I stand before you today to tell you it's a problem. And it scares the heck out of me. There's another word I'd like to use. And I think I share that with a lot of the folks sitting here to my right. So, obviously from what you said, there's no way to avoid it. You can't wave a magic wand and make it go away. But I think that perhaps it should be put on a ballot and a township vote. Whether that ever is going to happen or could happen, I can't tell you. I'm not at that level to understand that level. But I have my concerns and appreciate the opportunity tonight to at least voice my concerns.
We appreciate your experience and your opinion on that, too, so
Thank you.
thanks.
Hello, Jason Gibson, 03 Yvonne Way. Thank you very much. Nice to see everybody came out today. So I know a lot of people weren't in the room preceding this meeting. I know some of the members up there were. Appreciate you saying you're not for it. There's no other option. I'm going to point out there is an option or a remedy. Depending on who you ask, that may or may not cost more money. As has been pointed out by the town committee, there's been no financial modeling, no planning, no feasibility studies as to the impact on schools, the residents, what it would do to add homes, what's the proportion of people coming in versus number leaving the county. So, I appreciate you saying you're not for it. I appreciate you pursue that option. As previously pointed out, maybe it's a township issue which we need to eye on.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is James Vanderbilt. That's spelled Mandeepill. I live at 208 Yvonne Way. Lived there for 5 years. Let's see here. We just received notice studying 2 weeks ago. There's going to be a vote tonight. People aren't here, ready to vote. Okay. That's poor communication. I work in IT. Communication is number one. You communicate with your customers. I get that you guys are residents here, but we are customers, and we interface with you guys. Let's see here. Taxes, taxes, taxes. 2015, my family's taxes went up by 16.6%. New Jersey here already has probably the highest taxes in the country, if not almost the highest. That happened because of, for whatever reason, mismanagement, the township funds. That's not on us. That's on somebody. And that should be noted for everyone. 2016, we had to go through a vote to potentially extend sewage. I don't know this for a fact, but I've heard it through rumblings that someone on the town committee actually may have benefited from that. Unfortunately, that would have been yet another tax increase for everyone in this town. That's not cool. I don't want that. Let's see here. This ordinance. Let's rewind for me. I'm 37 now. I'll turn 38 later this year. I moved up here from North Carolina. When I first moved up here about 11 years ago to start my career, I actually lived in Section 8 housing. I'm Bloomfield. Let's see here. What happened? Every Friday night there'd be cops out, domestic abuse, all the time. Every Friday night, pretty much. If not Friday, maybe Saturday. People drinking. It happens, but it just happens. Then there was one real occurrence that was dramatic. I woke up on a Saturday morning. Apparently, someone had had an argument. They went out of town, actually out of the country, to Honduras or something, Latin America. Their boyfriend, girlfriend broke into the house, burned the entire apartment building down. Literally happened. I watched it. What else could happen here? More students at school. You haven't even thought about yet. How is it going to look? What's going to impact?
We do have a 3-minute limit, so can you start wrapping up? Yeah.
There's going to be new people, lower quality of life. There's going to be more crime and traffic. In closing, I just want to remind everyone here that a lot of these guys have run unopposed on the ballot, primarily the Republican Party. But there is some news. Will Spencer is not here tonight, by the way, for the vote. He was primary. There will be a new person that runs in the Republican ticket, and also a Democrat. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Let's get the ballot.
Thanks.
Now keep your hand running.
Anyone else?
Gary Hill, 529 North Main Street, Stewartsville. Also on the land use board, I just, because of what happened tonight with Mr. McManus not being here, I'm waiting at the township and ask the land use board to prepare something that tells these people where to go, because clearly there's a lot of misinformation that's going on with regards to the affordable housing. I mean, right off the bat, we already have affordable housing in the township, but we don't call it Section 8, correct? It's not Section 8. Section 8 and affordable housing are two different things. Just so everybody knows that. Yep. So I suggest that maybe, since we have to push on the thing until July meeting, maybe the township the land use board to put something to steer these people in the right direction so we get the answer. That's all.
Thanks, Gary. Anyone else?
Hi, Andrea Sherlock, 204 Avon Way.
Can you spell your name for her, please? I don't think she heard it.
Sherlaw. Similar to some of the other stories here, I mean, it's directly in our backyard. I very similarly moved here from a career situation 14 years ago. My husband and I have made significant investment in our property, took pride in it, built up the barrier that everyone knows so much about. And I would love to see it go on a public ballot. My husband and I work long hours. We were shocked as people that are directly affected by this within 200 feet. Prior notice was a letter 10 days out saying we have a meeting. My husband travels for his occupation. He's gone 50% of the time. I have an over-hour commute. And I work long hours. So it hardly prepares any of us with the proper information, communication. I received communication and FAQ would be published. I got various disparate responses. There's not even a unified response here. So I echo some of the other comments we heard as we came in the room. I don't think that the whole group has had the opportunity to really understand the impact. And someone who directly is responsible for that barrier sees the traffic. We already know there's a list of activity a street away. I share the same concerns with my children in the school system. This will be in my direct backyard. And the notice I received was amazing.
Thank you. Anyone else? Anybody in the hallway?
Hello, my name is Matt Snodgrass, Snodgrass. I live on 1611 Adams Drive, Stewartsville. Now, as I had said earlier when I was up here, when I was not on the record, I grew up in Paris, California, which faced a very similar instance, I guess you could say. My mother worked for the police department. We had about 14, 15 deputies. We had affordable housing come in, which had a percentage of Section 8. And when that happened, every few years, more and more people came, bought houses that related to those people. Before the end of it, the town went bankrupt. The police ended up turning over to the county, the sheriff's department, because the police could not handle the situation. I was lucky to get out when I was 17 and a half, 18 years old, and I joined the military. Didn't stand being there. My situation is the same as every single one. I know there are good places, I know there's bad places. But every 2.5 years of my adult life, I moved in the military. Until 3 years ago when I got up there. We moved specifically here, which was 78 miles away from my work, because this is the town I wanted. After seeing everything I did my entire life, finally I was away from where I grew up. Finally. My parents couldn't escape. They're still there. They have a huge fence, lots of crime. Police can't do a whole lot. It's county police, so California resources are limited. Same in New Jersey, same high taxes. What are we going to do about it? There's only so much we can do if we don't have any planning. And as I learned as a force protection officer and security officer, no planning equals bad performance. It's not going to work. And we don't have a person here that can carry anything forward. That worries me because the same thing happened to my parents. I was hoping I wouldn't see that here. But over the course of 4 months, nothing happened. And it wasn't 2 years, 3 years, 4 years from the date than the person costs. It's 2 years from a set date. So they continue to carry until nothing happens. Try not to get upset, because when I first was up here talking, she got a lot of good answers. I'm not saying a lot, so I would to go along with those answers. And they don't like them. We need to have studies, case studies, feasibility studies. We need things done for us. We are going to see a lot of business leave, a lot of people when they can, before it becomes too late and our houses devalue $50,000. It's happened in other towns. P-E-R-R-I-S, Riverside, California. Look it up, and you'll see how it was previous in town. We grew about 50,000, 60,000 people over the course of 4 years, and moved down fast. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for your service.
Thank you. Sorry.
My name is Amy Korjaneski, Kortenidw, S as in Sam, K-I. I am a licensed mental health counselor. I can, but I'm not going to speak about the psychological research regarding certain socioeconomic groups, effects of housing, so on and so forth. My statements will reflect as my concern with respect to what I see as a lack of transparency. Namely, I hear lots of different reports, lots of different descriptions. The lack of consistency I find concerning. It's my opinion that government is my servant. Everybody who pays taxes, you, government, is you are the servant to the taxpayer. It's not the other way around. Insofar as plans going forward are concerned, I don't like to hear the word no. I like to hear, you know what, let's look at something different. Maybe this isn't going to work, that doesn't, just continue to examine options until it's abundantly clear this is it. And in closing, with respect to the pain that everyone is felt, it's my opinion that it's better to spread the pain, I'm sure there's a better word, but spread the inconvenience across everybody. Government, in my opinion, exists to treat everyone fairly, not a certain group. And like I said, there's going to be inconvenience, there's going to be costs associated with this. It seems abundantly fair to me to spread it across the universe of Stewartsville and Greenwich Township residents. So please look at all the options. I've made suggestions. I see there's something property. Please follow up on that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
Sorry, it's horrible public.
Take your time. Breathe.
I live at 201 Devonway. I've been teaching in our school district for 12 years, and it took my husband and I 10 years to invest in our home in Greenwich Township with our Janine. We have 2 young children in school, and when we were looking at this community, we loved the land, the open space, the community, the people, everything about it, the schools. So it's very upsetting to me now to hear that within a few hundred feet of our home, there could potentially be a 144-unit apartment complex. It makes me very sad that we did all of this investing and all of these things because we love this area so much, and now my daughter will be looking out her bedroom window onto this enormous complex. It doesn't seem fair. My neighbors, same thing. I feel very strongly that the answer of there is no other place has to be right there, right up against these few homes there. Sorry, there's no other option. I'm finding that very, very hard to believe. And I feel that maybe we need to think outside the box, think of other ways to make this happen so that it's not affecting the children, specifically in our 2 towns, the way that it really will be. There has to be another option. I understand sewer was an issue, and that was the only place we could have sewer. I just think that we really need to look at other options. My home is also half a mile from the school, as are the other homes that are surrounding this area. So that means that kids are walking to school, they're walking home, they're walking to the playground across the street.
and thinking that there could potentially be issues within a low-income housing development. Maybe not, but as Rich was saying earlier, sometimes issues happen there in the surrounding areas, the parks, stores. That's where our kids are walking. That's where they're going to. So it's probably school from school, the walking area, and that's a major, major concern for me. And I feel that we have a huge area of land, and if not every other area were maybe looked at and considered, it would be really unfair to say that this entire project has to go right up against our neighbors' backyards. And that's my main concern. I feel that, yes, low-income housing is mandated. We can't argue with it. It has to be done. But let's look at a way to do this fairly for our children. Half a mile from the school, right in certain children's backyards, I don't feel that that's fair. And I think that, yes, an increase in taxes, maybe to do something outside of the box, purchasing land, putting in sewer lines, but a lower, I think the word, lower property value, obviously, lower quality of life for our kids who are now going to go outside and hear this construction of an enormous complex of literally 200 feet from their homes. What are we trading here? It doesn't seem fair for our kids. And that's just what I want to say for that. And I understand, I really appreciate also the time that you're taking to let people really speak about this, because a lot of us are just blindsided and have no idea what's going on and are trying to just gather information as best as we can. So I really do appreciate that all of you are taking the time to really think about this. And maybe some of us have ideas that haven't been explored. And I really feel that it's super important that we're looking at every other piece of land. Maybe there's something out there that's better than just accepting this is the one piece of property that's absolutely not so.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Did a good job. Anyone else?
Hi, my name is Deborah Duran, F-O-R-A-N. I live at 202 Yvonne Way. I have an in-ground pool, and I have concerns of Section 8 housing going in behind my house, which, by the way, I was notified 10 days ago. We canceled a trip to Florida to see our daughters so that we can hear what's going on today. What I have to say, I don't think it's going to change anybody's mind. But I will say this, the sacrifices that my family has made to live in Greenwich, Florida. My husband was a New York City police officer. I know too well what Section 8 housing does. He gave up 8 years of seniority and a pension to leave New York City to live here. We haven't complained over the taxes, though God knows they've gone up 300%. Everybody says New Jersey. We want to defend where we live because we've invested in this town, we've invested in our home, we've invested in our future. And I get a certified letter less than 10 days ago that you're going to put Section 8 housing 200 feet from my in-ground pool that I ultimately will be responsible for. I am extremely disappointed in all of you. I am extremely disappointed in the way that there is no transparency. And as a resident of Yvonne Way, I can only say that we have got to stick together. We have got to find out what is going on, what the options are. Clearly, this is very upsetting for all of us. It's very emotional. But again, I think we deserve more notice than 10 days. Thank you.
Thank you.
That was me.
Oh, can you give your name and spell it for her? So.
My name is Salome Kwamalu, and that's my husband. His name is Kuirmolue. That's Kwamalu. So we immigrated to this country. Our home away from home is Connecticut. We actually own a home there. Our house is in West Haven. And we bought a house in West Haven because it was quite a nice little town away from New Haven. But there goes the New Haven, University of New Haven, like a few yards from my house. and a bunch of college kids coming in town, and the whole city is going downhill, taxes are high, and the house is there. I couldn't sell it. I'm prepared to pay for an empty house when it's empty. So I moved here because my husband got a job, and we lived in Hillsborough for pretty much close to 10 years. So we've done a lot of studies. Hillsborough has different school systems. I was having trouble even moving here because when I compared the schools, they were not the same. Nevertheless, I got more land. Originally, I moved here last summer and I was renting a house, but the owner he served our military, and he was at his point where either he lose his home or he have it sold. And because I was already living in the house, I chose to buy the house. Just lay I was on the house. So if you had told me this like a few months ago, I probably would have bye. But you didn't speak out early enough. And the funny thing is, though, when we are children, we are expected to think like children. But then you transition to adulthood and you are expected to think as such. Another point I try to make again is that I'm a registered nurse, by the way. When you do the same thing over and over and you expect different results, that is the exact definition of insanity, right? So we see these things happening every day, and we take a big word and we say, oh, well, who cares? We don't have to put our faith, but we do. Just like every other parent in the room, I have children. We do our best to assist them, and I've been living around there. I was in mountainside, close to 50 miles away from home. And so my kids come from school. Now they have to be looking across the street with some people sitting around smoking. God only know what they're doing. I've tried too hard to raise them, and as tough as it is, I do not want to make it any tougher than this. I'm just pleading with you, if you can see reason to listen to the voices of the boys that are in the pulpit, so that you can just give them a little bit more hope. Just not to allow them to raise their kids. And then you can do whatever you want to do, and we can all move away.
Thank you. Anyone else? Anybody out there or something come in? Oh, go ahead.
Hi, I'm Michelle Stanganelli, Stanganelli. I live at 1516 Stadium Circle. And I'd just like to thank you for opening this up for comments forum. So the two things that I want to say is, the first one is I understand that, the state has mandated this, that we put affordable housing into the community. But I do understand, especially the people who live over in Linden Farms, I do not, but the people who live close to it, that it will definitely impact the value of their homes and the way that they live their lives. There's no doubt about it. So I would like to see alternative locations if possible, and/or the possibility of going to builder's remedy. Because someone made a statement that, well, Greenwich Chase was a builder's remedy. Guess what? I live in Greenwich Chase. I'm fine with that. So if we had another builder's remedy like that and get people invested in the community and taxpayers, that's not a bad thing. The second thing I want to say is this new meeting is now scheduled for July 19th, I believe. July, that's a terrible time. Half these people are going to be on vacation in July. I think this should be postponed until at least September so that people can attend and not have to cancel their vacations to come to the meeting, because if they're not there, they'll feel that, they've let themselves down and let their community down. That's really all I have to say.
Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Sal Puglisi, Puglisi, resident of Greenwich Chase, 521 Madison Drive. I'm also a police officer. I make my commute down to the city of Newark, the airport, every day. I work sometimes rotating shifts, afternoons, nights, mornings. I'm not always here. We're a single income family. And, that aside, that's our choice. But safety, is something that's a big concern. And it's not the people that could possibly be moving in. We don't know who would be moving in. So, we're not making any assumptions on who's going to move in, if there'll be higher crime, if there'll be increased drug use, things like that. Nobody can say that for sure. We don't have that information. I do know that our police department works very hard. We appreciate everything that you guys do, as well as the fire department, as well as the EMS. My wife is a former dispatcher, you know, she raised a good point to me. I spoke earlier, and I asked, will there be increased patrols in the area? If there's nuisance calls, that possible housing project, Section 8, affordable housing, whatever it's called, who responds into the other communities if there is an emergency? If we use a neighboring town, it doesn't always happen right away. You know, maybe they're busy, maybe they're tied up. We can't expect other townships to be available for our needs. You know, so where does the money come from? Increased patrols, overtime, et cetera. I'm sure the chief would love to have more in the budget for that, but where does it come from? That's my concern. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Elio Carvalho, H-E-L-I-O-C-A-R-V-A-L-H-O, 210 I've been a resident of this township for 20 years, 10 years on the planning board, many discussions about this thing. And this is the best we can do. Again, you mentioned about low-income housing. True, we have low-income housing, but it's ownership. Now, the court, they made it that we go with the rentals. Rentals, low income, and very low income. Well, 100% I guarantee you, and I'll make it back tonight, we will have the majority of Section 8 people there. 99, 98%. And this is what it's all about. It's the Section 8 rentals that will bring an undesirable element to this county. If this was something that the board might want to consider, I haven't discussed with the attorney, take it back to court. If this was a development similar to what we have in British Chase, where people own their homes, I wouldn't have a problem with that. I don't think anybody here would have a problem with that. Those people pay taxes. Section 8 people, and those developments that you're going to put up, they'll pay zero taxes. So you have no tax incentive. They'll generate probably 2 to 3 kids per household. You'll have at least 100 or more kids going to school, which the system will not get additional funding from the state. So that's the problem. It's not because we don't want low-income housing in the town. The problem is that we don't want Section 8 rentals in the town. That's our problem. And I hope you understand that as a board member. I deal in real estate also. And years ago, I bought 2 buildings in Newark, 2 710s, all Section 8 people. I have to sell it 3 years later. The calls I received about the police going to the building, the tenants complaining about other tenants, I have to sell the buildings. 3 years of nothing. But with all of this, and I echo everybody's sentiment here, I think this is too big of a decision for 5 people on this board to make. This is an issue that affects the whole town. We should be putting a question on the ballot in November. So, can I ask you a question, Mr. Mayor?
Sure.
What's stopping you to put a question out on the ballot in November?
I'll have to ask the attorney that. Well, part of the problem is, and that's why the timing is bad, I agree with her, it is summertime. The settlement with the court just happened in like May. So we're on a time frame, Elio, that we have to meet with the courts. We're bringing, next month, be here, we're talking about it.
The schedule for this is 2 years. You have 2 years as a township from December 2017 to show the court what your progress is. So we're not talking months. We're talking 2 years. The court gave us 2 years. And besides, if we turn down the court decision...
Well, Ellie, we got 3 minutes. I gave everything else to you,
you don't like to hear
It's not what I don't want to hear, Ellie. You can't do that. No, you can come up there and talk. You can come and talk.
So we have 2 years to decide whether or not they want this or not. So if you don't go with it, let's take our chances to build this land. And besides, with the way the Interstate 78 is, and everything else that's going around the neighborhood and Warren County, I don't think we'll have any buildings left anymore in this town. At least there is.
Then how do we ever build then, if we don't have the houses have to be built regardless?
Clinton just put a more, just has, I believe it's a delay on their implementation of the program.
Actually, if our attorney was here, we'd know, because I think he represents Trenton. I mean Clinton.
What do you mean you would know? You're the mayor, you're supposed to know all of this.
Too complicated for me to know everything, Elio.
What are you doing there?
Your 3 minutes is up, Elio.
This is what I don't understand. You people get elected to these positions and you close your eyes.
Hey, the one gentleman said it, the ballot's open in November.
Thank you for your time.
Thanks.
My name is Cynthia Rivas. I live 768 Jackson Road. I just moved here. I've been here for 3 years, going on 4. I love it. You want to build more homes, Section 8. I don't think that's a good idea. I do believe it's more kids that's moving in. Phillipsburg High School has raised our property taxes as well. I think that we need to build more for our kids because they don't have nowhere to go. They don't have really outside to play. You know, the kids riding their bikes in the street. What about the safety for our kids in the community? They need a swimming pool, a basketball, besides the tennis court. You can also do a payment like Lopez. When they go to the swimming, it's a fee. So instead of building more houses where kids are not going to be able to go and for the crime to go up, give our kids somewhere to go in the community. We're not thinking about our kids. Bridge is like a highway. People speed. Here, our kids got to cross that street. There's been times my son been late. There's no security, no guard out here, no cop out here for late kids to go to school. So my son has to stay home because I don't stay. So what about that? What about building something for our kids, a community center here in Greenwich? We don't have that. A recreation for the winter time. That brings a fee, like the Boys and Girls Club. What about that? Is that you can bring that to your attorney, to the board?
Well, I think you started off, I don't know if you were here, you said we don't want to build anything.
Well, I just came in, yes, I'm a little late, but I'm speaking for the kids and for the parents as well in the community.
Mm-hmm. Now, I understand what you're saying, but...
Just one thing, the town has invested a lot of money on the new park, which is for the kids.
Is there going to be a swimming pool, a basketball?
That's a debate that
inside for the winter time?
So you're asking for an indoor facility and you're asking for a pool? Listen, that's a debate that can happen. I don't believe it's the right thing for the town, but maybe other people do. That's just where I stand on it, personally.
Well, I was just bringing it up because as I travel through Phillipsburg, Greenwich, there's no living.
Thank you.
Thank you.
My name is Chris Hatch, and I am a resident of Stockton Street, Winter Farms, and my wife and I just moved here about a year ago. Built a perfect house, as we do. I just want to start off with something positive. I think it's a very good thing with this meeting and what's going on here and what's going to the 19th. We all have 3 weeks to get as many of our neighbors here. It should be our goal to have a standing room in here. Okay, so we can all share our opinion, good, bad, or indifferent, whether they get along with us or not. One thing I really like about this community was that it felt like a community. And right now it's a big impact, and there's not too many of us here. So let's get more people here, whether they agree with you or not. Get it. We got weeks to do it. That's going to be my objective. But then this is the first one of these meetings I've ever been involved in any community I've lived in, so I didn't know what to expect. But I am a little disappointed. This is something that is going to impact everything from schools, crime, taxes, a lot of great points, and we don't have any information. The person who's supposed to have numbers and statistics isn't here. With all due respect, I don't know what else would be more important on your plate coming into today than getting these numbers and statistics.
I can give you an answer for that. Her husband's in the hospital.
I've got an associate that works for me, feels like they can do my job, and I'm not here to do that, so I said with all due respect.
Yeah.
But you knew, because we moved it to the beginning of the agenda, so you knew it was gonna be important. And we don't have it, and we're left with 3 weeks now to wonder, what is it? Is it rentals? Is it Section 8? How many units? Is it a big, massive complex, or is it not? We don't know anything. And it's not good for 3 weeks to go by, and so I don't even know is it a vote, is it an agreement? I don't know what's happening in the next, maybe get new to this. But we have 3 weeks now to wonder and try and come up with our own facts. And I'm scared about that, because I think if there were good statistics and good numbers and things that promote this community, we would have had it. Okay, so I think it's a good thing to challenge everybody and come raise the bar to this discussion, challenge all of us to get many neighbors and everybody here. But I do also respectfully challenge you guys to bring us information and get it to us. Allow us to make our own decisions. Let's not wait until it's too late, and then we're forced to do something you don't want to do. That's what's not fair. I understand you don't want it. I get it. I've looked at the history. I completely believe it. But not allowing us to have the information that we need, that's something that I'm not really comfortable with. I'm with.
Anyone else?
Kind of just want to echo what everybody has said this evening, in that I think in order for us to make an educated decision about what's going on, we need those facts. And if an independent study has not been performed, then I think it needs to be performed. Because that's where we will find what options we have, what are the pros and cons of those options, what are the ramifications to our school, to our police department, to DPW, to sewer capacity. And if an independent party has not been summoned to do that, I think that's something that is needs to do. I understand that this is a state mandated proposition, and if that's the case, then we're not the only town that subject to this. And we should also be researching what have other towns done. How are they dealing with this? I have friends with family members that are on town councils from other towns, and this is the first time I've ever heard of this. And I asked them, what their thoughts were, what have they done in their township. And we do have options, and I think those options need to be explored. And as the saying says, two heads are better than one. Obviously everybody's here for a reason, because they want to express their opinion, and they want their opinions heard. And maybe all of us as a collective group, given those facts, can come up with a better option than what's presented to us. And if it's true that we have 2 years to do this, I feel like we're walking the plank before we really have the true answers that we need. And if we have 2 years, then maybe we need to take time to do the proper research and get the proper information in order to come out with the best decision for everyone.
Thank you.
Enough trash issue coming over from Southside and that stuff over that way, and that we have four-foot fence that we can't, not have to look at this thing bad. But another question, and maybe you know the answer to this. I can't tell you how many times I've called 911 for accidents behind my house. I put an executive agreement and we want it. There's a light in there. What's going to happen now? Never know.
It's too early in the planning process to even know that. But it's something that we're certainly going to look at.
And that's a huge issue.
No, it's a huge issue.
How many times I'm watching TV and not knowing the crash on TV?
Right.
And back to us. I think I'm sorry for whatever the reason is. These two people aren't here. I was supposed to go to lake tonight. I didn't because of this meeting, and I think it's very sad
and evidence that says that we don't have that information. That from those people. If those two people were had a car accident, they both died, where would we get the information? Is that what you're telling me? Nobody else going to have that information?
That's all handled at the land use board level, so when the application comes and the development starts, that gets all worked out during the normal land use process.
I just want to say why
I
you
can
didn't
ask you a question. When the shopping center that we have where Lowe's and Target is built, there were plans requested by this town to have a light installed at the intersection. That intersection was designed to have a traffic light. That's why it's so light. It's a county road. The county turned it down. With a review coming in the near future. That review never came because our committee probably never bothered pursuing that. Again, I told the committee for that. Thank you.
Thanks, Elio.
My last question is, I'm concerned if there was a fire in this high-rise or whatever you're going to build there. I had a house for no money, almost down, and not for nothing. I appreciate the volunteer fire department, don't get me wrong. I work in Township, we have them too, really close to them. They cannot put that fire out to save their souls. We were helping them unroll the hoses, the ladders are falling, and I don't know what would happen if people in the building that was higher than a two-story house. So I don't know what there's going to be an impact on them too.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Going once, going twice? Oh, go ahead.
My name is Bob Francette. I don't live here. I haven't lived here since 1972, and that was only part-time. So I've been away a long time. I'm representing my father, who lives as a resident at 22 Greenwood Street. When he built his home here in 1955-56, there was the eighth house on the street, all the way from the highway down to the house next door here. So I've seen a lot of change here, and my father's seen a lot of change here. The only question I have is one that was brought up very recently. Who is mandating this particular project? Nobody here wants it. You guys don't want it.
There was an Affordable Housing Council filed suit against virtually every municipality in the state. It's not just happening here, it's happening all
I don't
over the
want to
state.
take up undue time. I'm a foreigner here. So I
Yeah,
don't
no,
know.
that's okay.
I live in Alaska.
It's a fair question, yeah, it's a fair question. But it actually has been going on since the 70s with the Mount Laurel decision, so it's just been going through the courts, and like a lot of numbers get thrown around as 120, and everyone thinks that if we go to a builder's remedy, it's going to be 120. That deal will be off the table then. That was a settlement. So the numbers will probably be somewhere between 220 and 280 affordable housing.
This is a state mandate thing.
Yeah, well, we lost in court. It's a liberal state. What are you going to do?
Okay, I just wanted to understand what was pushing this, since nobody who lives here seems to want it. At least that's what I'm...
Oh, I think you're pretty right. Pretty much right on that.
Thank you very much.
Yep, thank you. Anyone else?
Gary Hunter, I live at 540 Madison Drive, and with all due respect, I just have a suggestion. We all have had about 10 days to come up with all kinds of crazy scenarios as to how bad this could possibly be. Based on this information, we've also come up with scenarios, alternative scenarios based on this information. You just told me something that I don't know if everybody knew, which was how the rural remedy might actually work, which it would not eliminate it.
And I do defer, because contrary to what Elliot thinks, I don't know everything about this, but I do know this. The 120 came from a court proceeding where our experts were arguing we should only be responsible for like 220, 230, like that. The state's experts were arguing 280 to 300 units. We assumed it would probably end up somewhere in the middle. The court would just say, okay, 220, 280, 250. The people representing the affordable housing, I don't think it was the council, but whoever was arguing on behalf of affordable housing, offered a 30% discount if it was a settlement, instead of we paying you $2 million, will you take $1.2 million, basically what it was. So we settled for the discounted rate of 120 units, because with what we have up there already and other places in town, we satisfy this round. If we don't do that, and again, next month, the lawyers here explain much better legal terms, that deal's going to be off the table, because they're going to say, no, we offered you the 120 if you took this deal and you built something. So if we delay and don't do it in that time zone, a builder's remedy, he's going to go, the court could go back to, we want the 250. So that means for every 100 homes built, you can get 600 homes, because you're going to build 100 affordable. That guy's going to say, I want to be able to build 5 times that amount, so you're going to get 600. So you theoretically can get anywhere from 12 to 1,500 homes for the builder's remedy, if I understand it right. If the planner was here, and Jonathan Drill's an expert on this, so is the planner, and this was not all thrown together in 10 days. This has been going on. I haven't been involved in government except for the last 2 years, but that lot was zoned for affordable housing 8 to 10 years ago when the township bought it using COA funds. So that's been zoned that way for 8 or 10 years, so it's not anything new. But basically what I'm saying, there are pitfalls of not doing this. So, yeah, you're right. I mean, and the only thing I will say is maybe we were remiss not giving out enough information, but I wasn't involved in government, and I know a lot about what was going on there because I paid attention, so.
Irrespective of who's responsible or not responsible. So I would appreciate Frank and Paul coming on to the next door forum and trying to do energy control. A couple days ago, I would ask that you, as you learn more in the next month, hopefully you actually take a little longer than that because of all the scenarios and all the questions that you were asking. You make a little bit more of an effort to make us all aware of the scenarios, limitations, and possibilities.
Yeah, well, I could go over some scenarios. I've looked up enough.
Well, do you want to wait for public
Yeah,
comment?
that's what I was going to do. I was going to wait for everybody, and then I was going to respond.
Kind of address what everybody's
Yeah,
asking.
so maybe we'll make everybody else speak, and then I'll respond. Okay.
Does anybody else have any? Go ahead. Okay.
I had a question, but I already shared my 3 minutes. Could I just ask?
Just ask the question real quick and write it down and try to get it to you.
I'm really sorry to interrupt. When looking through some of the maps of our town, which we've all done, we've recently purchased homes here, I can't find any information, and I may be wrong, so please correct me, where it says that this particular piece of land is zoned for affordable housing. I've searched through maps, I've searched through everything I could find about it, and I can't find anything that says that this piece of land is zoned for that. I'm looking at the map,
Yeah, no.
and it doesn't say it's zoned.
And you're correct about that. Okay. That's what this zoning change is for that. I think what he was stating was the plan was from previous committees that it would go there, was purchased, it has sewer allocation, blah, blah, blah.
But then why wouldn't that be documented for those of us purchasing homes directly up against it? If it's purchased for that, wouldn't it be zoned for that size?
Mike, was
No, that's what the MS1 is.
Oh, okay, so you'd have to know, okay, so you'd have to
So
go.
if it were purchased knowing 10, 20 years ago, I care, this is for affordable housing, wouldn't it have been zoned as that, documented as that, listed on the website, the map so that homeowners know, hold on a second, I'm not going to buy a house on Yvonne Way and invest everything I have in that property because it's
So,
not listed as that.
I can address that.
It's listed as office professional / limited research. Limited research to me does not mean this is going to be a future site of an affordable and enormous complex that we've discussed. It's
So-
very...
I can give you my opinion on that, over there. Personally, this is my personal opinion, and anybody watching the tapes or land use board meetings will see that I've argued many times that I don't think it should go there. I don't think that one side of town, we already have affordable housing on that side of town. Me personally, I don't think that it's a desirable thing to have more affordable housing on the same side of town.
Talk about from the school, right between our...
Regardless, so it was always my position that we should have it dispersed around the town. Previous committees, I wasn't involved, tried to get, now remember, you have to have sewer. So previous committees did try to, you have to have sewer located on the property. That's how I understand it. Like Bob said, we're gonna get the professionals to answer you better, so, yeah, we're gonna ask for a special meeting, just so everybody knows. We're gonna have professionals here, get all your questions, throw us, we'll try to have them ready to answer them all. But my understanding, there was a committee, I was on it temporarily, I actually came off of it, that was pursuing this other landowner to provide the affordable housing. So we don't have it all on one side. The landowner walked away because, as I understand, I wasn't involved when the final decision was made, but as I understand it, the landowner walked away, wasn't interested because of various reasons. I don't want to get into it, but it didn't work out. It never happened over there. I thought it was terrible. The town had no other option because that was the only other property in town that had sewer on it. So it defaulted back to this. So we're kind of, now, maybe the town should have pursued other things. That probably should have been done years ago, and maybe we should have done it. Maybe we're at fault. I don't know. We're trying our best. You know, I consider all you my neighbors. So nothing we do here is meant to harm any of you. You know, we're in a position where we have to represent the entire town. So whatever we do, right, somebody in the town's probably not going to be happy. If we walk away and builder's remedy, so let me explain builder's remedy. A lot of people are mentioning Section 8. We shouldn't do this, let's walk away. If you walk away, that doesn't stop rentals, okay? Because a builder can come in, still going to put rentals in the town. That's a possibility. So telling the town to walk away from this because you don't want rentals in the town does not solve the problem of rentals. You know, the other thing with Section 8 is we don't necessarily know right now. We're trying to get the answer on that. I know Paul had mentioned this previously. He doesn't think that they qualify for Section 8. I don't know that. I'm trying to get our professionals to give us a definitive answer on that, and we'll definitely let you know. But I just want to be clear that walking away from the project does not solve not having rentals in the town. It's going to be in the town somewhere, most likely. We don't want rentals. I think rentals is a bad idea. I'd rather have people have a stake in the town. I think people should own their property. So let me give you the other option. So we talked about builder's remedy. They walk away, a builder comes in, they sue the town, the judge gives them 5 times the amount of the affordable. So if the number's 200, you're getting 5 times the amount of homes. So everybody who said it's going to devastate the school systems, well, if 124 homes devastates the school systems, what do you think close to 1,000 homes is going to do to the school systems? So you got to take that into account too. There's no easy answers here. So let's talk about there's 3 options, right? First option is the town goes ahead with this plan, which is the lowest amount of units that the town could take in, because we made a deal with the courts. It's 124 to 144. We go with this option, it's the lowest amount of units the town will take. Yes, they're all rentals. Yes, they're in that location, okay? That's option 1. And we're going to have a developer build it so the town doesn't have to spend any money in building it. So there's no additional costs, unless there's overruns, then the town has to cover it, all right? So that's option 1. Option 2 is the town decides we don't want rentals, we're going to take on building them ourselves, and we're going to make them all owned by the residents, okay? So if the town takes it on ourselves, I don't know the exact cost, probably in the millions. We got to try to get a number, and I know people talked about getting answers. I'm working with the professionals. I got down probably almost everybody's questions that were here. I've been logging everybody's questions. I've been getting calls. I've been dealing with people on social media. We're going to try to have all your questions answered. But let's go back to that option. So option 2, we build it. It's now going to cost the town probably millions, okay? There's not a big appetite for the town to be spending millions on it. So you got to remember, there are other people in the town that don't want to spend millions of dollars. All right? That's option 2. We can look at that. And then option 3, of course, is the builder's remedy. Doesn't stop rentals. Still going to get rentals, so walking away isn't going to stop your rentals. May not be where, it could be where you are, by the way. There's no guarantee. A builder can't come in and sue the town and say, hey, we know you got the land. We know you got the available sewer. The courts may still force us to put it there, and then if the courts do it, we don't have a lot of control over how it's getting developed. So there is that risk. You walk away, a builder comes in, they sue the town, the court says, you have a land, you have to give it to them, and now the courts are gonna decide how it looks, all right? So there's a risk there. So you gotta understand, there's a lot of possibilities here. We don't like any of them. We're put in a tough situation. A lot of this stuff is based on deadlines. If we don't get this done now, we walk away, that 124, is like Bob said, goes up. It goes up, we could have a builder's remedy, talking 1,000 homes. I have a meeting with the superintendent, I want to get their opinion on this. We're going to try to do a study, we're going to try to get a fact. But keep in mind, 3 options. Go with the way it is, have 124 units, they're all rental. Have the town build it, cost millions, town has to manage the project, has to sell the units. Option 3, walk away, have a builder's remedy come in, may get 1,000 homes, may still not stop rentals. Still going to get rentals. So, I hope you understand that there's really no easy choices here. So, yeah.
But you put next to it, the builder's remedy allows market value. Right?
It does.
Builder, again, calculated risk, but...
Yeah, it wouldn't be all, yeah.
No, yeah, I'm sorry, let me, yeah.
Still, the possibility that they would build the affordable housing.
Right.
Or the builder can choose, though, to build larger homes if they choose, right? Or rentals.
Or condos, or townhomes, or rentals. We lose control, is basically the thing, yeah.
But you pointed out, too, I'm not sure, right, like, even if we go with option 1, if the builder doesn't like what the town proposes for looks and aesthetics and other things around it, they can walk away and go to builder's remedy anyway.
No.
That's
Rich, you want to explain that real quick?
The whole purpose is, and I'm just jumping in here, the whole purpose of the settlement is to foreclose the possibility of building. All right, so you have a settlement with share housing from the houses, it's their share housing. You adopt a settlement agreement that sets forth the township's obligation and commitment to provide for affordable housing in whatever form that takes. That forecloses the building agreement.
So, locking into that, we can dictate what you want. If you want multiple buildings, if you want different heights, if you want...
We can dictate, it's all part of negotiations, but...
But I'm saying, if the builder doesn't agree, if say the town says, we don't want it to be high, we
Right.
want multiple units, or
We have the
barrier, and they say, we don't want to put that in.
Yeah, we can walk away. Correct me if I'm
The
wrong.
builder can say, I don't agree with what the town is proposing.
There is no
Well,
building
no.
law at this point.
We'd have to get RFPs, the builder would come to us with his proposals, and then we
We could deny it.
Like, so, like, if you're saying we don't want 40 feet, we can say we're rejecting your proposal because it's 40 feet.
We've stipulated...
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
A lot of that's already going to be established in the ordinance.
Yeah, the ordinance establishes all that.
You're gonna building height.
So let me, yeah, let me,
Setbacks, one of the things I think you're concerned about is...
there's a 50-foot buffer currently put in there. There's, a lot of, shrubbery and barrier type of landscaping.
That's 6 foot. So if people agree with Jason,
Let me just, I didn't hear that question.
I just said it's going to maintain it. The only people that are back there maintaining it is us.
Yeah, it would be up to the developer, I mean, whoever owns
We
it.
didn't maintain it either.
Yes, I have the answer to that also. When the shopping center, Lowe's, and Target was built, at the request of the citizens, the buffer was built. Now, I was here, and part of the acceptance by the town was for the shopping center ownership to maintain the buffer. Never happened. Never. A lot of the shrubbery died. What we have now, really, are weeds growing. A lot of the pine trees are never came to get the guide wires, the trees suffocated, there's dead trees that are all over the place.
I'm sorry, Alan, you talking about the current location that we're talking about?
Yes.
Because that's not owned by the shopping center.
I'm sorry?
It's not owned by the shopping center, though.
No, it's not.
No.
Shopping center built it, but they assume responsibility to maintain it.
We'll look into that. You
Yes.
should have contacted me, I would have looked in, trying to take care of it.
That's the town really.
All right,
By the way, I'm sorry, I just want to say one more thing. You and I have been friends for 20 years. I know how far I've been pushing. And when I say I fault the committee, I'm not saying you right here now. I fault you
I know.
as the body of the town, and the committee, the people that runs this town. Not you individually, or you three right now, but
I understand.
these years, a lot of things were missed by the committee, but not necessarily you. What I'm trying to say is that last week I heard
and builder's remedy will bring 600 homes. Today I hear 1,000 homes. What are we going to hear next week? 5,000 homes?
Yeah, well-
I'd like to know where you're going to put all these homes.
You can't get an answer, Leo, because we won't know what that answer is until after the court would tell us.
I just think those are scary tactics that don't really belong here.
So-
Now, the most important thing
Yeah.
is that what you're failing to tell us is that this forward with the state, this mandate, every 7 years we have to go through this.
Mhm.
And that we belong to the North Jersey area. We no longer control the growth in our area.
Right.
The forward numbers are based on the North Jersey. North Jersey is always going to have a growth.
Right.
So every 7 years, we're going to be here arguing.
2025, second round.
So in a 20-year, looking at this scenario, in 20 years, we could have 700 homes. Again, if they're all low-income owned units, I don't have a problem with that. But they could be all rentals, like they are now. And rentals, I only found out about it, I've been involved in the town for years. I just found out about it, again, 2 weeks ago. I have no idea that we're going to have rentals. And rentals with very low-income people, you're going to have Section 8 Township.
But understand, and I agree with you, but understand, walking away does not stop rentals. You gotta understand that.
Well, coming from a real estate background, if you have a builder that large, building 600 homes, he doesn't want to stick around for a couple hundred rentals. He's going to turn that into ownership, like they did over here at Wrigley State.
All right,
Brothers, was not going to stick around for a few, with all the headaches that you have maintaining homes and rentals.
but you realize,
Brother wants to come in, build the stuff, and get out.
and I appreciate your opinion.
So don't scare people that you're going to have rentals.
I understand we're gonna have rentals.
Giving you an answer.
No, we didn't. I said,
me an answer, Ellie.
I'm telling you the truth. I'm telling you that there's no guarantee there will not be rentals in a builder's remedy. That's the truth. That's not scaring anybody. That's the truth. By walking away, there's no guarantee you're stopping rentals. What do you want? I'm trying to tell you the truth.
But there's also no guarantee that you're going to get rentals.
No,
That's
no one's saying there's a
nobody's
guarantee.
saying there's a guarantee you're going to get it, but I'm just saying that there's no guarantee you're not going to get it, and, you know, that just needs to be stated, so.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I agree with you, Leo. I think you are catastrophizing and you are preying on...
No, I'm not. No, I reject that. I'm sorry. I've heard a lot tonight, and I'm not going to accept that. I'm giving everybody the facts as I understand. I'm not trying to scare anybody. I'm trying to tell everybody the facts. Let me speak now, because I spoke with you an hour on the phone. No, I spoke with you an hour on the phone. I've spoken to you many times. And I spoke to you before this meeting. I spoke to you before the meeting also. Okay. All right, so... Right, but you're making a statement that we're trying to scare people. I'm not trying to scare anybody.
Sir, I'm drawing upon my knowledge from psychology...
Well, I'm drawing upon my knowledge of what I'm trying to express to everybody. I'm not trying to scare everyone. I think I gotta gavel her down.
The use of scare tactics.
Okay.
It's not
You make
true.
your accusation, we're accepted. Can we move on then?
That is my...
Thank you for the accusation.
So by telling you what the possibilities are, I'm trying to scare, I don't think so.
Go ahead.
I just want to ask, again, I appreciate
Yeah.
coming out and trying to give self information. This is the first I've heard of option 2. I might like to hear a little bit more about option 2. I mean, maybe people don't want the town.
We're gonna get more information on option 2.
Thank you.
So, is there any other questions? One other thing, though, this is I personally would like to delay this and get more information. I'm gonna ask our attorney what the implications are of delaying this. As Bob said, we have a settlement. If we delay it and we don't move forward, what does it do to the settlement? Does that risk us going back up to over 200? I gotta find that out. We're under the impression we can't delay it, but I'm gonna push for that to happen. That's one thing. The other thing is, we want to have a special meeting. I want all the professionals here. We're going to give them all of your questions, and we're going to make sure that they answer everybody's questions to the best of their ability. We're giving you our answers as best we can, you know. And like I said, I consider all you my neighbors. The last thing I want to do is devalue your homes. I gotta represent the whole county.
Make a pick who wants to go. Go ahead.
Moving forward, is this going to be public knowledge?
Everything's gonna be, I'm gonna put together a frequently asked questions, like I have all your questions. It's gonna be, I'm hoping to get it published on the town website. So,
Okay, so if I'm new coming into the town and I want to get information on the town,
Mhm.
you're going to tell me that it's going to be public knowledge that there's going to be one person in the building. Is that what you're saying?
no, well, you would know from the ordinance that's passing, that's so.
Because you're telling me this goes back 10 years, I've been here 20 years, and this is all new to me within the last couple of years.
Now, I think what Paul was, or Bob was saying was that the property was purchased, and you said 2010, I think it was way before that. Like,
I remember seeing drawings and renderings years ago of what they wanted to put there, long before I was involved here. So.
Again, I have the answer.
Oh, right
That property was bought by, the mayor then, Debbie Pasquarelli, I believe it was 2010.
Uh-huh.
And the target for that property was for a park. Discussed to have, walking paths to make it a nice buffer between the shopping center and the residential area. Then, of course, with the new COLA numbers coming out and the discussion that was put on hold. And again, remember, every 7 years, 200 units, in 20 years, you're going to have 700 units, so low income, rentals, whatever it might be. So that the town is not going to be looking good. One more thing. I just feel tired. I'm ready to leave the town. So for me, this is not even shouldn't even be a battle. I should just put up a sign tomorrow and move on. Yeah, but I spend so much time and energy at these meetings, community day, environmental commission, planning, exciting projects in that area, shopping centers, senior housing, which now I'm sorry when I thought that. It doesn't have to see that. To see this town go down the tubes. And we heard a lot of comments from people, for gentlemen, that, and I guarantee you this will be Section 8 rentals, the majority. And this is going to be a downslide for this town if we allow that to happen.
Let's do it. I'm Elia's neighbor. I don't have to live here in New Jersey. I work in IT. But unfortunately, I work from home. I work out of my basement. I can live here, Florida, North Carolina. I can choose where I want to live. If you're going to put this in my backyard, I can be just like Helio, put the sign up forward and move. You need to do a better job of communicating and getting out and making sure people know. And I want everyone to know, because probably a lot of people are here because of me. I went out Tuesday night and circulated the flyer to most of the people on our side of Greenwich. I'll do it on our side, the other side. I'll walk every single house to get people here. You need to watch what you do. You need to communicate better. You know, if it's like, if it's houses, if people are invested and it's nice, you probably don't care. But this has been poorly communicated. That's why people are mad. It's like you're doing backroom deals. I expect that from Boston. I don't expect that from you five gentlemen. And the fact you're not even send a notice, you don't even have people here and ready. I canceled the vacation also. Again, not cool.
Got it.
Just wanted to, Rick Ferrer, 103 Alden Road. Just wanted to formal request that these guys get ready. When we push the July meeting in September, so that folks have enough notice.
I don't know legally why, I have no problem doing it, I don't know what the legal ramification is. Susan, he's talking.
Just so everyone knows,
Now.
This is gonna be respectful.
Yeah, go ahead.
My name is Michael Sullivan. I'm John Drill's partner. I'm not handling the affordable housing litigation for Greenwich Township. Mr. Drill told me we knew tonight, due to Ms. McManus' personal family matter, that the public hearing was not going to be finished here tonight because she needs to be available to answer questions. She needs to provide testimony as to the ordinance And we knew that was going to happen, and so that's why we told everyone that it was going to be put off till July 21. Now, Mr. Drill was also unable to attend, and he is handling litigation. The one thing he did tell me was that this hearing has to be carried to the July 19 meeting. So that's the message I'm conveying to you. On July 19, when you have the public hearing, Mr. Drill will be here, and Ms. McManus will be here. We confirm that, and you can discuss whether there's any further extension permissible. But for purposes of this evening, when we finish whatever you're going to do here, we need the public hearing on ordinance 03-2018, the Affordable Housing Ordinance, to be carried to the July 19 meeting, 7 o'clock, with no further notice. I'm eventually going to need a motion to that effect.
I got a question. I got a question for the attorney. That ordinance is passed. That doesn't mean it's a done deal.
It means the ordinance is in effect. It doesn't mean there's a development
Right.
application.
I just want everybody to understand that. So passing the ordinance is a procedural step, doesn't mean that this is a done deal. So, this is only being done so that we don't lose the court settlement, most likely. So, just because the ordinance is passed doesn't mean, until that shovel's in the ground, I would guess, or until we make an agreement with a developer, it's not a done deal.
I have a question. Explain to us exactly what the steps are for the ordinance to be passed or denied.
That's where we want our professionals to go.
So we don't even know what the steps are to have it.
The steps are that...
on July 19, when this public hearing is moved, at that point, the committee can vote on the ordinance to either approve or deny.
That's one of the steps. She's talking about the whole procedural steps to get the development. I could...
Yeah, that's...
Next thing that happens is...
What happens if it's denied, if I may ask?
If what's denied?
On the 19th, the attorney just said it's denied, so if it is denied, what happens?
Well, I would assume that we're going to be in breach of the agreement. I would ask the town attorney to answer that.
Mr. Joe's been negotiating this with Fair Share, but
Right.
presumably the ordinance is reflection of the settlement agreement that's been...
Right. So if we don't pass, if we deny the ordinance, we're in breach of that agreement.
They're in breach, right?
Yeah, we'd be in breach. But, getting back to the procedural things, so the next thing that happens is the town would go and put out a request for a developer to give us proposals for what the development looked like based on our recommendations. Correct, Mike?
Yes. That is the next...
So so there's a lot behind that. So the developer then goes and tries to get funding for this from certain agencies, and the attorney can explain that better. But based on whether or not they can get the proper funding, if they don't get the proper funding, they're not going to be able to do it. If they can't do it, the town has to make a decision. Do we want to pay for it on our own, or are we going to walk away and get a builder's remedy? So that's what would happen. So there is a possibility that we don't even get a developer that wants to do it. We'll have to find that out. Okay.
Since people are asking to postpone the meeting, and it seems like sort of is mandated already, what happens if nobody really shows up, then who you have your meeting with? And then what's the outcome? If nobody shows up.
I don't understand you.
What happens if nobody's able to be here on July 19th, then what's going to be the outcome?
When you say nobody, you talking about the public, or you talking about the professionals?
I mean, like, if people don't have the time to be here on July 19th,
No,
and then what happens next?
we have to have the meeting, and we have to have a vote.
What happens if the people who are supposed to be there tonight can't show up tonight? What happens then? Thanks for us to the hospital right now, right?
I'm actually one of those people. I won't be here tonight, too.
She's supposed to be able to come with information. If she didn't give her husband the deal or whatever the situation was, let's say in 3 weeks he can't come to the hospital. She can't come here. So then what?
So we're all available to everybody here. If you have questions, we can get the, problem we have right now is the professionals aren't available for it to get a lot of information. So if you contacted one of us and you had questions, we would reach out to the professionals and get you answers.
I'm hoping, though, that if on that 19th meeting, I'm hoping we can carry it and then have you back again and go...
In a special meeting.
A special meeting, that's all we're talking about the whole night is it. Pardon?
If you don't have a forum, you can't vote.
That's not the problem. The problem is the settlement agreement.
So, go ahead, Amy.
Okay, quick question. In the event that the city needs to, okay, the city, I'm from Chicago.
Yeah, whatever.
No, really, I am.
It's been called worse.
Okay, the city needs to build it, why can't you float a bond?
Well, it's an option.
Right, like you said, it's gonna cost millions of dollars. Yeah, float a bond.
Yeah, that's an option, definitely.
See, that's what
No, that option's considered, there hasn't been,
I've only been up here for 2 years doing this, but every time something like this happens, you're here, and I understand, I perfectly understand. If I lived where you were, I would not want this. I agree with you 100%. But if we go for bonding, there are other parts of the township who might come in saying, we don't want to pay because, you know what I mean? So,
it's all about money. I don't buy bonds, I don't like to make money. I
yeah.
don't like to lose money when bonds come up, I examine.
We have to pay the debt service on the bonds, though, and so we'd have to pay the debt service on those bonds, so.
Okay, I got it, but everybody likes to make money, at least as far as I know. And I buy bonds. I buy bonds because they're generally pretty safe. So please consider a bond.
I don't think selling the bonds is an issue, but somebody in the back had their hand up.
consider it.
You had said that the ordinance had passed already?
No,
No, so it's in effect.
no, it's not in effect. It's not in effect, that's what the vote is gonna be on
This
the ordinance.
ordinance is not gonna make any decisions for that project, other than, this keeps us in compliance with our court agreement,
Right.
correct?
Yeah, the ordinance is up for public hearing, and presumably up for adoption on July 19th, as soon as we make that vote.
There has to go out requests for qualifications to build it, requests for proposals to build it. That's where we address some of the issues that they brought up over here about how high, how long, how tall, how many units, how's it gonna look, how's it fit into the landscape, how's it gonna be buffered, how's it gonna be, that's all, that won't happen because of this ordinance, I guess is the easiest way to explain it to you. Yes, sir.
What does it look like in terms of doing, say, an impact study, in terms of where it might be the...
Can I say that that's exactly why Beth McManus needs to be here to answer those questions. She's the one who drafted the ordinance. She's the professional who's going to testify on behalf of the town, and she will be here on July 19th.
So, therefore, you assume that the impact study has in fact taken place and she has the information, or is that the first step, once the ordinance is voted on, the impact study comes, and make a decision?
I don't know the basis.
That's a process question. I would think that the process you really will know, maybe not specifics, but you should know the process has been done that.
Well, I'm an attorney, hold on.
He's only filling in tonight, he's not
I'm an
here.
attorney, but no familiarity with the process here with the township, okay?
He should know. Somebody should know something.
Time out, I can answer that.
We should have
I can answer that. There's nothing stopping the town, after passing the ordinance, to do impact studies. Nothing. That would be my recommendation, it would be to do an impact study. I agree with you, I agree.
Why would you do it afterwards? Because what if the results of the study are...
Because we have opinion, we have professional opinion that we based our decisions on.
And will we be made aware of, will we be able to...
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
So, one more question, and we have to cut it off, it's like...
Does the ordinance lock it to that specific site?
Yeah.
So if the vote goes through on the 19th, then it's that site.
Well, no.
You can always rescind an ordinance.
We can rescind an ordinance, or we can walk away, and then a builder remedy happens, and they could put it whatever a landowner that agrees with them would do.
What's the likelihood of that happening?
What's that, builder's remedy?
Yeah, no, that they could find the property to put it on.
We are told by professionals that there's almost a guarantee that'll happen. There's a property owner that has available sewer.
I think more importantly, so we don't scare people, there may not be anybody interested in the builder's remedy. But those homes, whatever the number will be, will have to be built.
Well, not necessarily. No.
Why not?
If nobody's interested in the builder's remedy, then the town's not forced to build it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. If there's nobody interested in the builder's remedy, yeah, to dissipate.
Well, we do kind of know there is one. Go ahead. Go ahead, yeah.
In preparation for the upcoming meeting, would I be able to request, I don't know if anyone else is interested, but a map of our town and spelling out exactly any potential other options for placement of this? I know we know sewer allocations, sewer lines, there was a little discrepancy about that, but would we be able to actually see that it is in fact in
The engineer's here, he said he could do it.
placed anywhere else?
Those maps already exist.
And what's the cost to put sewer someplace else as an impact to taxes to say, you know what, it doesn't have sewer over there, but we can put it in for 800,000, $1 million, whatever.
We won't know that number.
But you gotta remember, there's this agreement, and there's this deadline, and if you don't proceed on it, you open the builder's remedy. Putting in something like sewer or anything like that, takes a long, long time.
Good, Amy.
Yeah, but that doesn't stop the builder's remedy.
Okay, sorry. I called Ms. McManus and asked her some questions. This was last week. And somehow the conversation got around to personal opinions. And I'm just wondering if you would share with us what her opinions are with respect to the need for communities to support public housing.
I don't think I understand your question.
Okay, does my question make sense to everybody?
I'm a little bit confused, yeah.
Pardon me? What I'm
They come there, they build the building, they take care of it, they don't pay any taxes.
No, all I'm saying, sir, all I'm saying is, I think it's important for all of us to know what people's opinions are, what their thoughts are, what their philosophies are with respect to their jobs and the duties they're expected to perform.
Are you speaking here of Ms. McManus's
Yes,
personal opinions? Okay, that's what I thought she was saying. Because I was wrong.
And I take a shotgun approach. I'm pretty outspoken, and I wanted to speak with her so everybody knew my thoughts about what was going on. And I'm just wondering if you folks, and I suspect some people do, I don't know, that's just my opinion, that some folks may know what her personal opinions are, since she seems to be instrumental in organizing these activities.
Personally, I'm not concerned with a personal. I'm concerned with a professional opinion.
Okay, then go to that issue, but it's my opinion, and only my opinion, that sometimes philosophies can represent that they can underlie certain activities.
Okay, so we're gonna have to wrap it up for tonight. We have the rest of the meeting to do. Sorry to do that to you.
So there's one more.
Oh, okay.
My name is Chris Collinslow. I recently moved into...
Can you just give us your address, please?
Yes, 701 Jackson. I live actually right next to the portable housing agreement with Chase. I don't have a problem with that, but that's fine. I've got two little ones. I got a 3-year-old and a 4-year-old who will be shortly attending school. I think the biggest thing that I've seen here that concerns me is that the first thing you guys said was, we don't like it, right? And the thing I've heard from a lot of people say is, we want to see this study, that study, this. And honestly, sitting here, it made me think that no matter what evidence was found, that's not going to change what we're doing. So there's not a huge point in...
No, that's not true.
No, I wouldn't take that away from you. I think that's wrong. That's a wrong perception.
Yeah.
What I mean
I think
is
your
that
perception's distorted on that.
we already know the direction that some of this will go, right? And we know we don't want to use it anymore. I think the concern that we have is the seriousness that is being taken by the town, that we're not fighting. And the fact that what's happening here tonight, we don't have anything. We all found out. I found out on next door, right? That this was coming in. That we're not fighting. The thing that's amazing to me is everything can take forever in government. Everything can just be delayed and just run amok. We've had the park and it said it can just continue delay. It's coming blank, right? And I want to see what can we do to fight as much as possible, to fight dirty in this with every trick in the book legally. What can be done with that? Some of you mentioned that it's supposed to be a park.
I thought we fought that I thought we did fight that way, and we paid a lot of money over the last few years, so.
When you look at that, it's a nice, beautiful walking path that I go down. So I think those are the things that we really need to see is how can we really twist this on its head to say what can be done, how can we make it not possible to build there, and then we run into the situation that there isn't anywhere else to build. And I think that there is additional things that we could look at as far as getting rid of the property or making the property unusable because it is already being used for something. Why can't we put something there, right?
Well, you know what? A lot of the questions you're bringing up, we have asked the attorneys and stuff. I mean, I think we ran out of all the legal wiggle room and maneuvering. But with that land, we could sell it, but it's so strong that they can make us use eminent domain to get other property to build it. I mean, Rich, the lawyers know better than me with it, but...
You can, but it all takes time, right? And if you want to drag your feet...
We can drag our feet. That's an option. That's an option. But then this deal we're talking about falls through. The 120 units.
Again, my concern is just the seriousness when we come into something like this that it's not as important. You take it as important as it is to us and the information that we're being provided. That are you guys fighting as hard as we would like for this? Because I think that the worst thing to me is if you said, hey, I agree with it and I want to do it, that would be one thing. But the fact that you don't want to do it and we're not fighting harder is
Well, I think, from talking to the attorneys, we've exhausted as much legal as we could.
I'm very disappointed that the information is like 1 month. And those information, so the next week she can't show up. What she does is that she shares this information with somebody else. 1 woman knows, we have to pretend that 1 woman...
Well, her firm would send somebody else, because she's the best prepared, so that's why they want her here. She's the one who's done this for years for us.
Tell them somebody else. Let them in on it.
Okay, we're going to close.
In the laptop where you can print out a report for everybody to read, so we'll be back for July 19th.
Trying to get a frequently asked questions together for you?
No, the information that she has, that you keep saying you can't provide us.
What, give me something more specific, like what?
Everything you're saying tonight. You don't
What?
know, you don't have it, she has it. So it's got to be somewhere on the record.
No,
You should be able to print something out.
she has a professional opinion that is more, this is what she does for a living. We would do the best we can to educate ourselves on it. This is not what we do for a living. We're not professionals. We rely on her. So we don't want to misrepresent what a professional may say. That's the only reason we say that. I would love to tell you, and we have told you what we think. I think we've answered all your questions as best we can. I don't think we're trying to hide anything. But we are not professionals in this, you know? I'm not a professional. I rely on the professional. We expect a professional to be here to give you the most accurate and correct information, that's all.
I have one more question. So, I don't know who this woman is.
She's a town planner.
Okay, so, she's, I'm sorry?
Town planner.
Okay, and she was elected to this?
Yeah, that's signed by the land use?
Well, she's actually started as
Well, both.
the
Town-
town planner as well as the land enforcement.
Yes.
She is appointed by both.
No, she's a
No,
planner.
she's a planner. She's a licensed planner.
And her opinions that she's providing next, on July 19th, those opinions are her professional opinions of her background as a planner, and so forth.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. So, and you were the town attorney, correct? Yes. Okay. So, as a town attorney, with all due respect, how do we know that this individual is providing us with the proper opinion? It's an professional opinion, and in business, as I am, if I don't like a professional opinion from one group, I'll go to somebody else and talk to somebody to get a better opinion, because sometimes you can get a better opinion on something. I just went through a legal situation in business, and I was told, it can't be done. I went to another law firm, cost me $800 an hour, and I spent $10,000, but I got what I wanted. That's my point. Are we dealing with the right
people, with all due respect, I don't know you, and I don't mean to catch any
No, that's fine.
I'm just trying to understand, if we can't get the answers on July 19th, or we don't like the opinion, let's go somewhere else and get a better opinion.
Because her opinion might be that she wants these houses.
And to this young lady's point, personal preference, personal things, we're all human beings. How we feel inside, as much as you try to separate your business opinion, it's part of your core and your fabric of who you are. So sometimes people have different opinions than what we're looking for. Maybe that is the right opinion at the end of the day, with all due respect to this lady. But I just want to make sure that you guys, and being a taxpayer in this town and paying your salaries for 20 years, okay, that we're doing the best we can. And to one of these gentlemen's points, that you guys are fighting tooth and nail to represent, even though when we came in, you guys were, with all due respect to you guys, and you don't know me, I don't know you, but you seem real happy about them. We didn't want this, and everybody's smiling up there. But guess what? You know, it's all you know what's that are on the line here, okay? And I don't think, from what I'm hearing, there isn't enough in our direction. Am I wrong?
Just a quick question. Does the planner live in town?
No.
Of course not. As a teacher, every year, I reflect on the impact that that on students. I just want you to go home today and see the impact and legacy you'll have on this town if this goes in. Reflect.
Okay. I'm looking for a motion to close the public hearing.
I'll make that motion.
And we're in a second.
We need to actually make a motion to carry the public
Well, we
hearing.
could close,
Yeah, we want to close it for just this evening, and then we're going to make a
Yeah.
separate motion to carry.
Okay. So we're looking for a second to close the public hearing for tonight.
One second.
Roll call. No.
Mayor Barsney?
Yes.
Mr. Beam?
Yes.
Mr. Marqueta?
Yes.
Okay, now we're looking for a motion to carry the hearing to July 19th.
7 o'clock p.m. without further notice.
Okay.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second that. Yeah, in a few minutes I will for regular stuff, Mr. Fay.
Why don't we take, can we, all right, go ahead. All right, go ahead. Just make it,
So I'm second his motion. Roll call. Yes. Yes.
yes, yes.
And then you have 4 ordinance that was also carried tonight, and that's one.
Okay. So we're looking for a motion for MF ordinance.
You should open up the public hearing on the MF1 ordinance.
What's that? We're trying to, can you try to keep it down? We can't hear the,
Not getting any of this on the tape.
Just speak into that mic.
Everybody stop talking and you're going to continue conversation.
So for the record, the last action taken was a motion by Mr. Beam and a second by Mayor Barsney to carry the July meeting. We did a roll call, without further notice, and we did a roll call vote, and everybody confirmed that.
And so that's July 19th, 7 o'clock p.m.
okay. Now we need to
Next matter is the public hearing on ordinance 04-2018 on the MF1 ordinance. So you need to open it up for public hearing.
Okay, looking for a motion to open up a public hearing.
I
on
will make
F1.
that motion.
Second,
Roll call.
Mayor Barsney?
Yes.
Mr. Beam?
Yes.
Mr. Marqueta?
yes.
Okay.
Okay, same problem. Beth McManus is not available on that ordinance, so we're requesting that you make a motion to carry it to the July 19 meeting, 7 o'clock p.m. without further notice.
I'll make the motion we carry it to July 19th, 7 p.m.
Second.
Roll call.
Mayor Barsney?
Yes.
Mr. Beam?
Yes.
Mr. Marqueta?
Yes.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Let's adjourn for 5 minutes.
Okay, we're going to take a 5-10 minute break now. People have been sitting here a long time. So.
Hey, Frank.
Okay, we're back in session. Okay, I guess we're gonna change the agenda around to accommodate people. There's some people waiting here to make public comment over things other than what we just discussed. So I'm looking for a motion to open public comment, now.
Yeah, I'll make the motion, open public comment.
Anybody want a second?
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor? Aye. Any residents wishing to make a comment, just step up, give your name and address, please, and,
We got him, Ray.
Charles Sonic, 103 Bradford Lane. This is what you had in regard to the follow-up on the abandoned property. Is there anything been done since last week in regard to the abandoned property? Following up, like I told you, the property across the street from me, abandoned for 7 years. Some things should be done by now. And the township should take action with the bank for whoever's holding this account. Also, the property will not be well. Last time it was cut, I would say, I don't know, 3 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago.
by the township, right?
Yeah, Joe, what was it about? Every 2 weeks. So, and as for the abandoned, I don't want to, right.
I don't want to live across the street from this.
It is not the only messy property, but with that being said, we are in the early, and again, this is not the answer you're looking for. Yes, things have moved forward on the abandoned properties, but the process is a lot slower than you would like it to be.
Well, you know, it was taken to court, this property. It was taken to court, at least 4 or 5 years ago. And they had to clean it up then. It was a court order to clean it up. So it should be on the book somewhere. I would think council would have information.
Well, it's not at our fingertips, but we are working towards that again.
So it should be easy enough to follow up and who the judge was and follow up and bring those people back into court and get them to do something with the property, tear it down or something. But, you know.
All I can say is we're working on it.
Okay. Because I'll give you a little more information. I have my property appraised. $138 square foot is what they want to value the property at. Now, part of it is because of that property across the street from me. Part of it is taxes, and the other is the school. Not the school within Greenwich Township, but the high school that the kids have to go to. We're not getting a value. These people think that property's the value's going to go down with this rental. It's already down, and they don't realize. I just want to bring that also to you. You should look into that, see what's going on. It's hard to sell houses in Greenwich Township right now at a decent price. If you lower it, yeah. We are not getting value. One time I was told that taxes had to rise in here to get a good education or the education system. And the property values would stay up there. They're not. Of course, they went down quite some time ago, but they never come up that much. That's how the township's at.
Thanks, Mr. Slade. Anyone else? No?
Hi there, John Creed, 32 Bradford Lane. In regards to what just happened, it's generic to a lot of stuff. Like your transparency, that's on our mission statement on our website, transparency. I know we publish things in newspapers, but a small percentage of people get the newspaper. I wish that our website was better. For example, the last meeting here, listed as April 19th. Dave's not at all. I think at every point on there, a lot of people saw it. That not occurred. So I understand there's talk about having ladies recording doing this date on the same. I understand IT costs are expensive, but we need to keep transparency by having stuff that's current, published out there. It's not just generic newspaper. I'm only here for enforcement. I was wondering if there's some things for Jerry.
No, I am working with, Mike Lavery, who unfortunately isn't here tonight. Yes. No, it's a challenging situation. I mean, we already know that there's a ton wrong down there. The I's need to be dotted and the T's crossed. That's what we're in the process of doing. I do expect you to see some results in a short period of time, but my short period of time might be at least 60 days. I think you're hoping for a little bit faster than that. But there is a letter that will be sent to them to make all the corrections that you've seen in the resolution, the previous resolution, all the way down through the board. And they're going to have to comply to that. It is coming, it's just not ready yet. Right, well, that was the decision by the attorney. He said that even though they're completely out of compliance right now, that we need to give them one more 30-day shot to fix it. I don't. I'd like to tell you soon, but I don't have an ETA. No, that's an important project to me. I've been eating this one for a couple of years now. It's important to me. So, but I don't have an ETA yet.
Okay, thanks for coming. Anyone else? Motion to close public comment?
Make it.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Okay, next we need to do the adoption of resolution 2018-54 certifying the annual audit. This is what requires us every year to have an annual audit made. It has to be registered with the municipal accountant and the municipal clerk, and everything's been satisfied and good, so I guess we just need to make a motion to adopt resolution 2018-54. So anyone want to make a motion?
I will make that motion.
Second.
Roll call? Yes.
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 Okay. We did public comment. Okay. Looking for a motion to approve the regular minute meetings for May 17, 2018. You want to make the motion?
I'll make that motion.
Anybody want a second?
Second.
Roll call? Yes.
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 Treasurer's report.
I understand there may be a change with the Sampson amount.
Mike, you had that info. Right?
I had the original amount on here.
Yeah, okay.
Mike, you going to have the numbers?
Right, yes, I have the numbers right now. I'm just going, we sent out our recommendation the other day. The amount isn't that even that material. There was some comments made primarily by Mark Cornicari, and other emails back and forth. And my take on those emails was that the payments to Mr. Sampson at the rate of 95% complete for the concession stand should be back down. So it seemed that 90% was the consensus of what was fair and appropriate. So that was the only item per se to change. What that does, so that changes the Sampson invoice, or the Sampson in voucher and subsequent invoice from what was originally submitted at $177,115.99, which is, I assume that's what's on the bill list, okay?
That is what's on the bill list.
Okay, 2, and
again, this is doing the concession stand at 90% versus 95. Those two, so $169,275.99. So it, rounding off, it's roughly $8,000 less, which is the difference between 90% and 95% of the concession stand. So if there's no other issues with that invoice, it can be changed again to $169,275.99 from what's on the bill list.
Mike, I got one question.
Sure.
And the emails on the things that aren't accomplished are on. What happened to the drop dead be done by the 13th?
Where's he coming with bills?
Well,
Next other treasures.
nothing happened
Yeah, I'm writing it.
other than it was not met.
Right.
Mike's still,
Okay.
you were Sampson's.
No.
So, let me ask you this.
Is this not the time
I was just gonna
for this
say-
conversation? Okay. Well, I mean, I got a handful of bills here, and I was just kind of curious, I thought we should be signing off 100% complete because it's all supposed to be done on the 13th.
You could say that.
Okay.
And
All right, we'll table that to executive.
I think just going to ask Mr. Warner, we're both on the same page.
Okay.
Discuss further in executive.
All right. Anything else? Okay, so we're going to look for a motion to pay the bills with the exception of Sampson's for now, because then I would go as a separate motion, and with the exception of what bills are you what we're doing executive?
Well, that's what I have listed down. Frank, didn't you say you wanted something else pulled?
So, Brad had contacted me that he would like, Mike, I don't know if you know this or not, but Brad wanted to pull your bills until the Open Space Committee reviewed it. I don't know if the first to hear or not.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, you're speaking of the park bills.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, yes. Yeah, no, yeah, not all, no, I'm sorry. Okay.
So
I
we'll
just,
have to pause.
Okay.
that was from Brad's communication.
Well, we're going to go in executive because I'd like to know why, actually.
He just wants the open, the reason I was given is he wants the Open Space Committee to review it and certify it.
Oh, okay, because we obviously send our bill, okay.
I'm just
Okay.
passing along his info.
All right, fine.
All right, and then, Earthworks, you have down here for payment number 9. Does that pay them for 100% of their?
No. Earthworks, there are, let me make sure I get this right, at least 2 fairly significant things that still need to be finished by Jeff in Earthworks. Where is my... Phase 1, here. There is the repair and regrading, if you will, of the areas that have settled around those irrigation boxes. And the bigger part is the extension of the parking lot at the, we'll say, the end of the parking lot closest to the concession stand. That was originally cut short because we knew there was going to be a lot of work going on there with the concession stand construction. But we have staked it out. I talked to Jeff a number of times. He's scheduled to come out on Monday. He's hoping to be out the end of this week. Doesn't look like he's coming. He's coming out Monday to finish those last 2 items. At that point, we will be closer to 100%, but we may not even be at 100%.
Right. Okay, so with that being said, though, he's done with all his work on the fields and such?
We're still waiting for, I think, some confirmation of some germination on what he most recently seeded. When I was out there at the beginning of the week, it was coming in, but, there's obviously still retained, there's still some money left in that line item.
All right, and at this stage of the game, the Open Space Committee and everybody else is happy with the way it is out there, field-wise, everything? You guys are all good with it?
I would say Yes, I haven't really heard any I haven't personally, any negatives recently. Brad and I have had some discussions. We did want to look at the area he regraded in the center of Field 1. That was the most recent work of 3 weeks ago,
Right.
or whatever it might have been. He wasn't that thrilled with it. We went out and looked at it. I can't speak for Brad. I wish he was here for him to comment, you know, how he feels about it now. But
Right.
that was, I would say, the only negative relative to
Okay.
what's left.
Frank, did you guys all approve this last bill?
What's that?
The earthworks in the open space? Did you review and are good with it?
This gets reviewed by the dormery sign off on it, and Brad?
Well, no, because there hasn't been an open space meeting since to set the streets. That's part of the
So do
problem.
you feel comfortable waiting on that?
I'd like to wait. I'd like to
Okay.
hear. Okay. And then the last,
Although Mark sent that the 90%, right? That he was okay with the 90%.
Well, that was for
Sampson,
space
right.
concession.
All right, so-
Speaking now.
the earthworks.
I'll take, yeah.
Okay, and then the last thing, and Joe's gonna have to chime in on this right here. We got a bill for some extra mowings at the school, because the school was not very cooperative to the original agreement for our company that bid that out. And he had to go back, so he's assessed an extra charge on it. I'm well aware of it, Joe was well aware of it. I don't know if Will was, I'm assuming he was.
I emailed him with Brad.
And at this stage of the game, I feel he should be paid for that, because there was a working agreement with the schools. I just don't know where to tell Kathleen to pay it from. You know, because it's not like the school pays for the grass regardless. You know, it's kind of coming out of here. So is this just something that we're going to suck up? And I was just looking for some input here. But with that being said, the school, and of course they're out right now, but come September, this problem is going to reoccur. And they made an agreement with the lawnmower company, the maintenance company, you know, about not having children in certain areas at certain times. And he's incurring an extra expense.
Was that in the contract that he
Yes.
needed to bill extra?
That I couldn't tell you.
The auditors are gonna pull the contract, and they're gonna come to me and say, you paid them more than what you should have.
Right. Yeah, I'm not thinking that it was in the contract. But the agreement with the school about the areas that the children are playing in being cut and not cut is in the contract. So the school has to be reinforced to them that, you know, this agreement needs to be lived by. Otherwise, it's incurring extra expenses.
Maybe they should pay for the extra expenses.
With that being said, can we bill the Board of Education for this?
Well, I would say let's have Brad approach it with them as the liaison.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at.
All right, then that's fine.
So you want to pull that bill?
I want to pull that bill. Well, I want to pay it, but if we can't pay it because we're not contractually obligated to, you know, then we need to get some clarification on it. So that would be that one right there.
Okay, so now I'm looking for a motion to pay the monthly bills with the exception of Sampson Excavating, Earthworks, and Laser Landscaping.
Landscaping, yes.
Anyone want to make that motion?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it. Roll call? Yes.
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 I need a motion to pay Sampson Incorporated $169,275.99.
Well, actually, you got more bills than that from him. But that would be the one that was changed. You got that one right there.
Oh, that for the 8,000?
I have one for $6,680.
That's because from the last meeting, I had the incorrect amount, so I had to cut an extra check.
All right, so this is good?
Yep.
So we're talking about number 1800721. That's the purchase order that we're talking about, that we're going to authorize the payment
Right.
for, and that amount. So I'll make that motion.
Well, we got one more.
Oh, no.
Okay, you want to do it one at a time? Okay.
Well, I thought we were only talking this.
Well, we were talking Sampson Concrete in general, and he had multiple invoices in here.
I just want to, I put it in the pile, so I need your signatures on it. That's from the last meeting.
Last meeting, that's all I wanted to know.
So we're only talking about,
That's it.
there's a number I talked about, 18,721. So I'm making the motion that we pay 18,721 in the amount of $169,275.99. Anybody want a second?
I'll second.
Third.
Roll call?
Mayor Barsney?
Yes.
Mr. Dean?
Yes.
Mr. Marqueta?
Yes.
Okay. We have any tax collector's report?
Yeah, it's in here.
I believe she's putting it in the box.
Yeah, it was in there, let's see here. Well, I'd like to make a motion to accept the tax collector's report,
Second.
which you will find it a couple pages down.
Again, second.
Any questions or comments? Roll call?
Mayor Barsney?
Yes.
Mr. Dean?
Yes.
Mr. Marqueta?
Yes.
Okay. Police Department report.
First one, they, did a good job at the Memorial Day, their speech was well written. Thank you to the fire department again. Can't hold that parade route without them, their assistant fair chief post. So thanks for your help again. For the report last month, 1,117 incidents. You'll see everything is pretty much the same as last month. Arrest 13 adult arrests, 1 juvenile arrest, 124 traffic summonses, 7 parking summonses, 136 warnings, 8 additional cases to the detective bureau, 3 cleared out. And is there any questions on the numbers on the report?
I don't have any. Anybody have any questions?
In overtime, was attached, approximately 54% down from last May. And our overtime still down, about 330. I think it's down 30% about. Okay, no, I'm sorry, 50%. So, overtime in total is down about 50% from last.
Okay. Is that all you have?
That's all.
With that being said, Chief, real quick, highlight everybody, I don't know who else saw it on Facebook, but Officer Mueller was just involved with some Lopakon officers at a special law enforcement event out in Missouri or something like that?
Yes, in Mississippi, we participated in the National Law Fit Challenge, which is held annually in Mississippi. And the officers from the United States didn't get into the contest. Physical fitness, so it's push-ups and agility test, running, pull-ups. And he teamed with 3 officers from Lopakon Township. They placed 3rd place in the nation. So that's very impressive. Individually wise, Officer Mueller placed 14th individual information, and the Lopakon officers took, I believe, 7th and 9th. So yeah, it was a very good representation. I participated a few years ago. I would like to go back, and we did a good job representing.
Okay, that's great.
You know what, I don't know. I know there was over 100 participants, over 150 individual participants. You're not talking like just someone, average officer. You have to be really in top shape. Your bench pressing double of your weight. Your pull-ups aren't normal pull-ups. You have to hang, go on their cue board. So it's quite involved.
Well, it was great for Officer Mueller. I think that's nice for the town.
Yep.
Thank you.
Okay. Looking for a motion to accept the police report?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second. Roll call?
Mayor Barsney?
Yes.
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 Joe, you're up.
Okay, DPW report. The building energy assessment, all the LED lighting is installed in the municipal building, outside and interior. In that grant, the one thing that got kicked out was the motion sensors for the offices. We have some money left in former grant money that we're holding. I'm going to get an electrician in to put motion sensors so we don't have to worry about office lights being left on. Go on and off themselves and stuff like that. And also, we got to make some adjustments here. You come around here at nighttime, especially out front here, it looks like a football stadium. I want to change the light out front they put here, lighting against that, our neighbors across the street. So we'll get that adjusted.
Oh, that's a new light. I haven't come by at dark. It's, yeah, oh, okay. Yeah, tone it down.
I'm gonna
Tone it down.
Yeah, I'm going to get that taken care of and addressed. Also, the heater units, I have HVAC units for the office. Installation started today. There's 2 units that needed to be replaced. They're replaced, finish up the job tomorrow morning. So that'll be all part of that energy grant that we got. Hopefully the next month or so we'll see a little decrease into the electric bill with LED lighting and these energy efficient HVAC units. Like I said, the office units were original 1977 unit. That was the last one of the original building. Also under buildings and grounds, the solar thing, we're still investigating, but more people I've talked to, if we do go to put solar on this roof's going to need to be replaced. And that's going to be probably a capital project thing. We're probably talking about $90,000 to $100,000 a metal roof and stuff like that. So we got to look into that and make sure that we're going to do that, the roof sound, or if there's another option at that. But the sewer pump station is probably with the ground setup is a viable thing to do. The property behind there will handle the solar panels needed to run them electric pumps and stuff. We can do it as two separate projects and go about it that way.
Did he say how much the savings would be potentially on that pump?
They didn't. I didn't get no true numbers on that for the electric bill.
Okay. All right.
They only right now they concentrate on the municipal building.
Gotcha.
And
Okay.
stuff like that. So when we get them better numbers, there we'll go about that.
Yep.
Thomas Stewart Park is being mowed on a weekly basis. DPW finished up the rest of the playground wood fiber mulch is in place. We've taken care of the property line, and we killed the rock and stone barrier there. The quotes for the heat for the new DPW building, Fasano Heating, I contacted him and told him that he was the lowest quoter, so he's going to make arrangements to get permits and stuff and start lining that up for sometime through the summer here, so that building has heat in it. And that is, the money is available there for that. I checked with Kathleen. Baseball lacrosse is all done, and we're going to be finishing up the landscape and the bay door ramps here. Probably going to be pushed into July sometime. DPW, the crack sealing program is going to start Monday for 2 weeks. So I'm going to have the part-time employees working 40 hours, both of them for them 2 weeks there to help with that, because we worked that whole time through that 2-week period. The pad paver, I just lined that up for the week of July 9th to finish up, and hopefully we're in line to do that. I said so we can get the walking path in Thomas Stewart Park the rest of the way paved in, including the school. We don't have to worry about the school kids in there. I see that stone's been cut in and stuff there too, so we'll be able to get that all done there. And that's going to depend on the water lines also. And then we just pothole and curb damage up on Fox Run, made them repairs, and we've had quite a few sinkholes open up here from the wet spring and the wet summer. Spring cleanup, 4.5 dumpsters of rubbish hauled out and 1 scrap steel, and the grass, yard debris and grass collection, 1 dumpster for the month of May, and we're running through, and I believe Bob Betterson stopped and Paul has stopped and said they want to run it through July, and the workers are lined up for that. That's it.
Thanks, Joe.
One other note, last month as OEM coordinator, I requested township committees to Will Spencer's deputy. County got back to me, and I need a resolution for this term to forward to them. Lisa gave me a sample copy for that resolution, and to make this term start June 1st, 2018, and it's a 3-year term, so it would be ending May 31st, 2021 would be the 3-year term.
One other thing, Bob Hill called me about Dave Barretto. We never
Yeah,
really...
We're going to do that in executive.
Okay, we're talking about this. Okay, thanks. Thanks, Joe.
You're welcome.
Okay. Looking for a motion to accept the Public Works report and the Building and Grounds report?
I'll make the motion.
Frank makes it.
I'll second it.
Roll call?
Mayor Barsney?
Yes.
Mr. Dean?
Yes.
Mr. Marqueta?
Yes.
Court reports?
Yeah, Lisa just got it to us here, but I will make a motion to accept the court report. And Pohakon is doing us on a month-to-month basis until we get to the point where they're ready to talk the final contract when they work out the deal.
Okay. I'll make a motion, we accept the court report?
I have a motion from Mr. Dean.
Oh, do you make it? Okay.
Yes, I made a motion.
I'll second the motion.
Mayor Barsney?
Yes.
Mr. Dean?
Yes.
Mr. Marqueta?
Yes.
Okay, Board of Health, we did get some correspondence from the Warren County Health Department over several complaints. I am a little disappointed over in the one that says about January kennels. There was a noise complaint made to the county public health, and they told the person to call back when the dogs are barking. No calls received, so they closed the file. And this is a continuous and ongoing issue.
It is.
Why would they take this as one incident at a time and just keep closing it out? I don't understand that, but...
I'll try to reach out to them, and that has been the response on a couple of times where they just can't plant somebody out there at the peak time and stuff like that.
But it seems like an exercise, or like the woman said earlier, you do something over and over and expect a different result. I mean, that's what we seem to be doing.
Well,
I'm not...
No, with that being said, and I know the neighbors, and I think the county needs to be inundated
with
complaints. Not a spotty one here, a spotty one there.
Okay.
That's an outside opinion, but I'll try to reach out to them.
Yeah. Okay. But there's nothing of note. They did some business inspections. Everything was okay. They did rabies testing request on a cat. The results were negative. They inspected some child care centers. Everything was okay. January Kennels was inspected and received a conditionally satisfactory rating. And they inspected some septic systems in the township and approved them, and they were installed. So I'll make a motion we accept the Board of Health report.
I'll second it.
Roll call?
Mayor Barsney?
Yes.
Mr. Dean?
Yes.
Yes.
Have any reports? Does anybody have anything left from not going through the specific topics?
No.
I got some stuff.
Okay. I don't have any. He doesn't have any. We're good.
I was reached out to our IT professional here. I'm looking into going wireless. He was supposed to be here tonight to discuss what it would take for a committee to go wireless. Not wireless, paperless, I'm sorry, paperless. Couldn't make this meeting, so just want to let you know, I'll probably have him come next meeting. So we'll try to look further into that. Community, what about the community day? Are you gonna?
Community Day,
Frank's offered to be the liaison, and I'm okay with that, so I'll make a motion that he be the liaison. Anybody want a second?
I'll second it.
Roll call?
Mayor Barsney?
Yes.
Mr. Bean?
Yes.
Mr. McDonough?
Yes. Well, that being said, I don't know, I think we need to have a chairperson for this, and my wife has volunteered to do it. She's done it many times in the past. I don't know of anybody else that's willing to do it. So I thank her for volunteering, but I'll make a motion to appoint Mary Ann Marqueta as the chairman of the Community Day Committee.
I'll second it. Roll call?
Mayor Barsney?
Yes.
Mr. Bean?
Yes.
Yes.
Do we have a date?
Obviously, that's gonna be a collaborative effort.
Yeah,
We're
no.
gonna lead it, but we're hoping you have a lot of help.
Frank, do you have a date then?
Yeah, all right, so we're looking at, I checked with you, Paul, for the emergency squad. I checked with Joe for fire, for October 6th. Brad was pushing also for October 6th because we have an issue right now. We don't know where it's gonna be. So, we don't know if it's gonna be at Thomas Stewart Park or it's gonna be here. And we think we'll try to make that decision sometime in July, but in the meantime, I don't think it stops us from planning. So hopefully, Mary Ann, you can start scheduling meetings with everybody, and we can start the planning of this anyway. And then sometime in July, we'll have to make a decision where we want to do it. I'm not opposed to do it either place, but it all depends on what shape the park is going to be in, okay? So, do we need an official vote on accepting October 6th as the day for Community Day, or do we need anything official on that?
Well, we probably should just take an official.
All right, so I'll just, yeah, do you
I'll
want
make
to...
the motion that the community day be held on October 6th, and we determine the exact location later.
I'll second it.
Roll call?
Mayor Barsney?
Yes.
Mr. Bean?
Yes.
Mr. McDonough?
Yes. I think that's it. We, the Thomas Stewart Park, Mike's, we have to address denying the bid, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
You want to maybe do...
Yeah, so the Park Pavilion bids came in way higher than we expected. So the plan is to, deny this bid and to change the specifications to make the pavilion less costly and put it out to bid again. So, what's the bid coming out, Mike?
The low bid, which was from Dutchman, and this was actually the alternate bid with the metal roof, was $187,489.
For a roof and columns.
Yeah, and this...
Crazy.
There were three bidders. The third bidder, the second bidder was close to the low bidder. Third bidder, $391,212. It's just,
So what was the original, what did we budget it for, 100?
I think maybe 120, didn't we?
I thought it was
A
100.
little more, maybe it was going to be...
I thought there was availability.
What changes can you possibly make to...
Probably not many. It's probably not going to be...
80,000, right?
It's probably not going to be good,
Right,
you know, but we could try.
Right.
You know, I mean, we could take we're probably going to do, Mike, you correct me if I'm wrong, take the stone columns out.
We're taking the columns out, we're not changing the size, and we were going to, I think, go with a little different roof. I mean, again, Mark's ago to pretty much...
But I think the metal roof and the shingle roof is basically a wash, right?
It's darn close.
Yeah.
The price differential was not nearly what I expected it to be.
Yeah.
And that was a concrete floor in there too, the base?
Yep. Concrete floor for the whole base and more. It extends beyond the roof line.
So how many times do we have to reject this? Is this one rejection good enough?
No.
No, huh?
Well, how many times? I mean, you can reject as many times.
No, on this particular bid.
No,
Just the one time.
Like, reject the bids based upon the fact that would be the motion.
All right.
To reject the bids received on the pavilion for Thomas Stewart Park based upon the fact that all bids received were well in excess of the township estimate.
All right, so I'll make the motion to reject the bid based on the fact that the bids exceeded the township estimate for the pavilion.
Roll call?
Mayor Barsney?
Yes.
Mr. Bean?
Yes.
Mr. McDonough?
Yes. Okay, that's, I think that covers...
Okay. Professional report? Mike?
Okay, just actually a couple things. Frank took care of the pavilion, that was one of them. I need to give you an update on the Black Rock situation, but that's gonna need to be an executive as well. The water main project, I call it the OU2 project. As you may or may not know, they're in town and have been in town. They're now operating 2 crews. They're working in the Pacesetter development. Coincidentally, they're actually inching up to my house. Still not quite there yet. But we obviously have our inspectors out there, and this may sound self-serving, but it's darn good that the township has some representation out there, because they clearly would not be compacting those trenches the way they should be, in these roads. Also, what we found, which is a little troubling, is that because of all the truck traffic, the tandems delivering, hauling the soil out and bringing the stone in, and obviously the roads are getting pretty beat up. Now, they're going to get, obviously, there's the half width where they're going to repave is fine. There's obviously some damage on the other side as well, which was not going to get a service. So that's something we're keeping on top of, where there's obvious damage being done. We're marking it out, having to repair that, that in that situation. But so it's a big project with a lot of equipment and a lot of heavy loads going up and down the roads. And, those roads are 25 years old in that development, maybe even older. So they're taking a beat. Okay. No, I guess I think we talked about the park. I don't know if there's anything more to update. We'll talk about it more in executive as well, so.
Yeah, I forgot to mention one thing. So, regarding the affordable housing site, a few residents approached me about a possibility of putting up a sound barrier between the Wyndham Farm development and the property. And I'm not sure when or where or how, if we decided to do that, if that has to be in the ordinance or that can be done in the RFQ. But in either event, the town, and I'm going to bring this up because I think it's a good idea. I think the property line, might correct me if I'm wrong, the estimate for a stone barrier along the property line was $120,000?
No. Talking two properties. Well, Wyndham...
Just the one property line.
Oh.
I'm just talking along the development. Right, both of them. So I think along the Wyndham property line is probably where we can make the compromise. So I'm just bringing that up to see, I know a lot of the residents are concerned, and my opinion is I would like to alleviate as much of the negative impact this has on them as possible. They feel that this would be a nice concession from the town. I think it's a good idea. I don't know when where we have to put that in, if we have to put it in the MF1, do we have to put it in the RFQ? If this is something we want to do, yeah.
We should put it in the ordinance.
In the ordinance,
yeah,
okay.
Right, just get it in there.
All right, so
there's no question.
I'm just throwing it out there.
What are the details on the wall?
It would be, how high was it? 6?
Well, we only estimated, Frank asked us for cost estimate.
Yeah.
So you can make them as high as you want, really, based upon, you see, like the barriers and the walls next to interstate highways. Obviously, we're not doing one of those. We estimated at 6 foot, at just a 6 foot high wall. But it was very attractive looking wall. And it was $120,000.
And that was just on the backside of Yvonne, the whole property there?
Along the backside of the property. So, I just figured I'd put it out there. I'd like to know your opinions on it. And if we think it's worthwhile doing, then we got to instruct John to put it.
If that
comes to fruition, I don't have a problem with it, but I think we got a long way to go before.
Well, we would have to put it in the ordinance if you wanted. to.
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
So you'd have to make that decision now. I mean, I respect anybody's decision, I throw it out there,
We'd have
whatever.
to do next month, we have the hearing again.
Yeah, but we'd have to instruct them to change the ordinance, is what I'm saying.
Oh, that's,
We'd have to instruct, who made the, John put the ordinance together,
Well,
right?
the two of them work together.
They work together.
The development, you would, I mean, either one could add.
So-
we could ask them if they have it prepared for us next time, so we can see what we want to do.
And I'd like
That's
to
fine.
see, and I'd like to see just a little bit more detail about exactly where that was going, because how is it going to affect the buffer that's there and the new buffer that's coming in? You know, are we going to drive
Can
it
you
right
answer
up
that
in
question,
between?
Mike? Aesthetically, where it would go?
Well, this was where I put it solely for the purposes of Frank's question to me yesterday, day before. You have the existing berm, vegetated berm that was put up when Lowe's got built, which is now pretty mature, so.
Right.
Okay. Basically, this wall, I would put right at the base of that, you know, close to the Yvonne property
Right.
line. Now, from the wall moving forward to Dumont, you know, in that direction, that's where the landscape buffer.
The new buffer is going to go, right,
The new buffer.
right.
So it would be, if you want to like scan across to a cross-section, you'd have the Yvonne Way houses, you'd have the property line, you'd have the vegetative buffer that's existing now from Lowe's, you'd have the fence, or the wall, and then you'd have the new landscape. So you'd have a few things before you get to the actual buildings. What is the purpose of this barrier? Is it noise?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Couldn't that be incorporated in performance standards? Performance standards?
Well, that's what we're saying. The ordinance, the MF1, basically the design standards for that zone. So I think was what we're saying.
And this is just an initial thought here, it's not, I need time. I don't see where 6 foot's going to impact anything in respect to
I
noise.
remember years ago reading where, even the sound barriers on the interstates don't really work, they just put them up so people feel better about
Right,
it afterwards,
right.
so, but I don't know.
Yeah,
But
again, I don't want to...
But certainly if it's,
I mean,
if
8
that-
foot,
that's
you know,
gonna
but if
fruition and
right.
that's gonna help them.
Sure,
I don't
right,
have a problem.
right.
So then what do we want to do? Do we want to instruct them to change the ordinance or no?
You know,
Can,
is it, well,
can we add
I
it
guess
later?
here's the question, if we're,
I don't,
if
I
the
don't,
township's
I think
gonna
once you
pay
pass
for
it, you can't add it. I
Yeah,
think-
well, but, Rich, if we pass it and we do it, can't we build that on ourselves?
Yeah, you can get that onus on. Yeah.
Well, remember, we're giving that land over to them. So it would be there that they would have to allow us.
The answer is yes, you can,
Can we make it part of the agreement when we get a developer coming?
absolutely.
So it doesn't have to be in the but if the ordinance doesn't say it, is it allowed?
No, because it would be a condition of approval for the construction of the property. It's not necessarily an ordinance related to zoning, it would just be something that the township wishes to see happen at the property.
So by it not being in your ordinance, that doesn't mean it's not allowed.
You own the property currently, convey that property to developers,
Right.
construct the project in accordance with whatever you want, and that's going to be part of the conditions of approval is we want to see whatever.
But my question is, does the ordinance stop us from doing that? Does the ordinance not having it in stop us from doing that now? Okay, and that's fine, I guess we could do it during the developers agreement.
Oh, there's other options, sure.
Okay, so we don't have to include it in the ordinance, so that gives us... that gives
I'd
us
like more than
time.
5 minutes to think about it. Right?
Yeah.
Right, okay.
Okay, that's all.
Okay. Anybody left who really wants to talk or ask another question? We're going to go into executive, so I don't want you to make you have to wait around if you don't want to wait around, so. Yes?
Statement that clerk, 69,000 extension. Just, if you could reiterate, that's not coming out of the general fund.
No. Coming out of open space fund.
Very good.
At least somebody's paying attention. Okay, I'll make a motion, we go into executive session.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thanks for coming, everyone. You're welcome to stay until we come back out, but as exciting as it...
Motions.
I got 4.
Yes, well, I wasn't here for
Okay,
personnel. so-
yeah.
You can just stop me or correct me if you say something, okay? Okay, we're back on, I'll make a motion, we come out of executive session?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Rich?
All right, we're in executive session for approximately 25 minutes, during which time we discuss matters related to personnel or the DPW regarding a salary increase for one of the workers, also issues relating to the LEA position, the stipend into that position. We also discuss matters related to professional services provided to the township, as well as potential litigation and contractual matters as to the park and CMC concrete. No action is taken in executive session.
Okay. I'll make a motion that we make retro payments for the position of fire official, and I guess the motion should include continued payment now that he's back on the job, so I'll make that motion. Anybody want a second?
Second.
Roll call?
Mayor Barsney?
Yes.
Mr. Bean?
Yes.
Mr. Marqueta?
Yes.
Okay, I'm looking for a motion to pay Black Rock Paving $1,430 as discussed in executive session.
I'll make that motion.
Anybody want a second?
Second.
Roll call?
Mayor Barsney?
Yes.
Mr. Bean?
Yes.
Mr. Marqueta?
Yes.
Okay, I need a motion to authorize the attorney to take action as discussed in executive session.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Roll call?
Mayor Barsney?
Yes.
Mr. Bean?
Yes.
Mr. Marqueta?
Yes.
What, did we decide to make a payment? No.
I'm sorry, can I just get a timeline as to that issue and what everyone at Sampson, what is?
ASAP.
Last Wednesday, the 13th, was the deadline. That's the 50th day for the contract.
Yeah, we're gonna make that
And
again.
it's Sunday.
Well, we have to do it based on,
Right.
but it needs to be signed for us so that it can be paid.
Well,
I'll talk to you about it.
yeah.
And now I'm looking for, did we do roll call on that one? Okay. And then we need a motion to pay purchase order 18709 to Earthworks Incorporated in the amount of $8,774.19,
Based on OC's,
based on the approval of the Open Space Committee. Anyone make that motion?
I'll make a motion.
Anybody want a second?
I'll second it.
Roll call?
Mayor Barsney?
Yes.
Mr. Bean?
Yes.
Mr. Marqueta?
Yes.
Okay. Looking for a motion to adopt Resolution 2018-55, which is the liquor license renewal for the Rockness Monster Corp., the Rock Corporation of Tewksbury for plenary retail distribution, plenary consumption to Apple Food Service, Warrenside Tavern, Aling LLC, and Bondi Bar Inc., and a club license to Mexi Bishop Post 456. Anyone want to make that motion for adoption?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Roll call?
Mayor Barsney?
Yes.
Mr. Bean?
Yes.
Mr. Marqueta?
Yes.
Okay. Did he say that this was okay to do then, this resolution for the OEM, or did he say he wanted to come back with another one?
We just adjusted the dates that are indicated there,
Okay.
so we can adopt it with the 3-year terms of June 1st, 2018, and May 31st, 2021.
Okay, so looking for a motion to adopt Resolution 2018-56, appointment of Deputy OEM Coordinator with, as amended by the clerk. Anyone want to make a motion?
I'll make it.
I'll second it. Roll call?
Mayor Barsney?
Yes.
Mr. Bean?
Yes.
Mr. Marqueta?
Yes.
Okay, looking for a motion for Resolution 2018-57, redemption of tax liens as discussed or given to us by the tax collector.
Make the motion.
I'll second. Roll call?
Mayor Barsney?
Yes.
Mr. Bean?
Yes.
Mr. Marqueta?
Yes.
Okay, we did the appointment for Community Day. Oh, I wanted to discuss meeting dates for financial budget discussion. We had talked about starting maybe in September this year.
Get him
So,
some
Lisa, can you just start sending out some dates? Let's try how about the Thursday after our normal meetings? We could start having a meeting to discuss it. Or did we decide you want to do it by committee?
I wouldn't mind doing it by committee. I on so many committees right now between.
Okay, well, let's come back next month with some suggestions.
Yeah.
We gotta figure out what we're gonna do, so
I
we'll
think
start in
Brad would
January.
be an important person.
Maybe Brad and Kathleen and one other person,
Yeah.
or whatever. Okay. Correspondence? Do I have the letters? No.
I did see the letters here, right?
The letter from Susanna was just sort of mimicking what they did last month.
Okay. And,
And what's the other one from Diane Keebles and I'm not familiar with the letter.
She wrote to express her displeasure with our animal control officer.
Oh, I do remember seeing that, yes,
That
yes.
took place on a Friday evening.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, here it is. She wanted it read into, do we want to read it in, or?
I would just make a motion to adopt, to accept the correspondence.
Okay, well, no, so we can do that. But with that being said, if you look in your packet, there's also Amanda's response
Yes.
to the situation. Frank, did you get to read that,
I
Sam?
didn't get to read it.
I read it all.
Okay. Well, all right, so we
Did you
just
want
need
to
to...
summarize her response?
Well, basically, Diane called and said that she called animal control, and she wasn't very responsive to the
I did
cat.
see Amanda's response.
And you did
Check
see
that,
Amanda's
yes,
response?
yes, yes.
Okay. And Amanda said that, the place had just closed, the time frame was short, and, she did what she could, so, okay.
Okay. Anybody have anything else? I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Not too bad.
Well, it's not a midnight one.
For what we went through earlier in the night, not too bad.
We only have 8 people here, that's why.
Yeah, but it was an hour and a half, just for that, an hour and 42 minutes, so.
What happened,